Because this Friday ain't black. Because we ain't buying shit. We ain't buying shit. Well, I stand up and never quit. We ain't buying shit. From the 25th of November to the 5th of December, remember, we ain't buying shit. We ain't buying shit. This Friday ain't black, 'cause we got each other's back. We ain't buying shit. We ain't buying shit. We ain't buying. We ain't buying. We ain't buying shit.
I don't care. All I care about is my relatives. Let me drive this home. All I care about is a nigga disrespecting my relative, nigga. That's all I care about, boy. That's all I care about.
How we doing, young kings? Stay focused. Y'all know the rules. Black queens forever. Snow bunnies never. Never.
Black queens forever. Snow bunnies never. Black queens forever. Snow. Never. Black queens forever.
Y'all know the rule. Black queens forever. Snow bunnies never.
Black queens forever. Snow bunnies never.
Nobody's nothing and tell them nothing about what the hell it is that they doing. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna leave it alone. I ain't going back. If you don't like what you hear here, if you don't like what you hear here, if you don't like what you hear here, go the fuck on. If you don't like what you see on Kendra Damn G, go the fuck on. If you don't like what you see over on Ashley's show, go the fuck on. Why is it that y'all think that you can control shit? Get your own YouTube channel, start it the fuck up, and do whatever the hell it is that you want. But I promise you, I'm not gonna come over to nobody's nothing and tell them nothing about what the hell it is that they're doing. You go the fuck on. If you don't like what you hear here, go the fuck on. If you don't like what you hear here, if you don't like, if you don't like, go the fuck on. If you don't like what you hear here, go the fuck on.
Musty Tyler.
So we came out What?
The people want to take it. And how y'all gonna take some stuff that ain't even yours? It's free.
So I got my 2 baskets and took the bus or whatever.
Wait a damn minute.
We get down here, we get some free stuff.
We're already in a recession. Times are hard. Why not just let us get the items and invest and be okay? We are Black women. We care about our crown. Why not give back to the community and let us get the product? The tools, any other eviction.
Goodness gracious. Shout out to y'all. Happy Sunday. You know what? I just realized it's Sunday. And I apologize if CIP is on for Soca Sunday. I did not even look. So my apologies if I am infringing on his time. Y'all make sure I said that if he is on. But shout out to y'all. See y'all. Appreciate you. Make sure you hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new. Now I've been taking a look what's been going on in these streets since today. Because after last night, I crashed. I ain't even gonna lie. First day of traveling is always the worst. It's always the worst. Tired AF, right? But now that I see all this mess going on, child, I am on vacation, but child, it don't stop or hurt nobody and take no time away from sleeping and laying around and eating to do a live stream or video. Because I actually have a video I'm working on, which I will release. I think I'm gonna do it members only, and then it will premiere tomorrow. All about this Karmelo child. Karmelo Anthony. Oh, that could be his smash name, Karmelo. I like it. Make sure you tell everybody where you heard it first. Anyway, actually, earlier I was watching this MTR CGA Battle of the Acronyms channel. Because what in the F? Then ODJ is in it with all the videos that he's making, of which I went to watch, and I was like, oh, Lord, what is going on? Gentlemen, what is the Sassy, shout out to the Sassy Straights. What is going on? Are y'all trying to be like Rolly Roll? Are y'all trying to be LTM? What is the problem? Can't we all just get along? Rest in peace to Rodney King if he's deceased, because Chad, I don't know. But can't we all just get along? Is that a possibility ever? I feel like it's not. So yeah, so all of them were wilding today, or at least MTR going over all the stuff that CGA has said and the ODJ videos and blah, 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 blah. So then, is that what's going on? They just hating on CGA while he's on his Ling tour. Oh no, he's in Aruba. He's in the Caribbean. Oh, CGA, shout out to him. We in the Caribbean at the same time. This is as close as we've been to one another. Shout out to CGA. So then, because I don't even know what to think with it, right? It's like people are trying to, now it looks like the tides is turning, and now people that were all for the parents are now acting like the parents have done something wrong, and they're turning on them, and they keep asking about the money. Like, how long? Listen, if you got a defense of your you got a lawyer that you got hired to defend your kid from Red Rum, I'm thinking that $600,000+ probably is spent. But people over here acting like it's supposed to last forever. Didn't nobody talk about, everybody else's go, send, give, or whatever? Who cares? That's their business. I don't care. They spent that money however they spent that money. That's it. That's all. I don't care. But people are all into, where did the money go? Well, probably for that lawyer that did a horrible job. But from what we understand, the Anthony's was listening to everybody but they daggone own selves. This is why I say, if I'm a F up, it's going to be because I made the effing mistake. I don't need anyone to help me. I don't need anybody to help me make a bad decision. I'll make it on my own. I'll take it under advisement if I ask you. But it's going to be the right people, not just the National Action Network dude or Charleston White, who we watched yesterday or last night. And you know, Charleston White, like, I don't pay any attention to that man at all. I don't even know who he is, where he came from, and then nothing like that. But all I know is initially, we got the case. I'm gonna give up $75,000. Then he was whispering in the closet with Anton. Now he boldly out here talking about he done. That's like 3 different people in a matter of a week. That is like 3 different people in a matter of a week to me. But whatever. People always want to be not taking the real professionals with regard to situations where there's probably a real professional that you should be listening to. Let's just listen to National Action Network, dude. Let's just listen to Charleston White and all these other people that just, in my opinion, don't make any sense. Do what the public wants you to do as opposed to what you need to do for you and your son, for y'all and your family and your son. And then when the shit all seemingly now blows up, where's everybody going to land? That child is now in jail for 35 years. And, you know, people were saying that when they were talking about the plea deal or whatever. Now remember, I'm a lawyer only on YouTube. Okay. That's not my thing. So in real life, if you wanted a plea deal, I guess you can ask for one, because I always thought it had to be offered to you. So maybe they asked for one, but nobody really has talked about it. Everybody's just like, why didn't he take a plea deal? Why didn't he take a plea deal? Oh, okay. So Reaper says that everyone gets an offer. Okay, so I didn't know that. I wonder what it was. I don't remember anyone ever talking about it. Just say that it was like 15 years. Obviously, that's better than 17 and a half to 35. But everybody always knows something after the fact. Oh, we knew it was going to be racist. We knew it was going to be a racist jury. We knew that everybody was going to be against Karmelo and his family, which may very well be. However, with that being said, that's where you chose to live. Oh, they offered 20. Okay, there was a plea for manslaughter. Okay, all right. So y'all know. Shout out to y'all. So there was a plea deal for manslaughter. They turned it down. I wonder who advised on that. That's what I want to know. And then they offered him 20 years. Well, that's a lot less than 35. And if you got to do half from what we have learned, then that would have only been 10, allegedly. Yeah, we watched some of that last night. And he is the one, meaning TLA, who said that the parents hiring the National Action Network guy was going to get them in trouble because he ain't nobody. And we knew that he wasn't ish before TLA even did that. I said, who is this? And why would you kick out the dad who's trying to be peaceful of the person that their son deleted at the end of the day? That was not a good look from that press conference thing or whatever it was. And then they wanted to make it seem like, oh, he's causing trouble. And that's not me defending what's his name, because child, he wilding too. Everybody is wilding out here, right? But I also feel like who suffers yet again? Sassies. Shout out to the blacks, to the black sassy straight. Shout out to all of y'all sassy straights. I see you. I appreciate you. Hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new. Shout out to the MSDs. Y'all do the same. I see y'all up in here. Last minute string. And I'm going to do another one later. I asked, because I was told that I need to ask Mr. Messi to do a live stream with me later on current events. So he agreed. So we may come back later and do that. If not today, tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow, because tomorrow is Cayman Islands. And tomorrow, this is my last day of 54, y'all. Tomorrow I'll be 55 in the Cayman Islands. And I'm so excited. All right. But yeah, so this case, I feel like it's going here, there, and everywhere, like a freaking star. It's up, it's down, it's here, it's there, it's over, it's south, it's east, it's west, it's all over the damn place. And it doesn't seem like, you know, it's gonna be steady at any point, anytime soon. Okay? But at this point, it just seems like people are losing their fervor for this case. Allegedly. Thank you. Happy early birthday to you, Elsie. Thank you, hon. We'll see. I thought I was done with this, but clearly not, because it goes on and on and on and on and on. You know what I mean? Let me show you this. I found this guy on Instagram. I said, let me go ahead and show this white man, because child, some people just they be in their feelings, child. Please remember, I'm only using one screen as well. The internet is slow here on this daggone chip, but at least it's working right now. So let me go ahead and take advantage of it while I can. So this is the big old Texan family. He says, I'm so tired of seeing all this hate from all sides on my feed. So this is my message to all of you, regardless of how you feel about me. I love you.
I posted that video to the beginning of this video to show you what the government and the media would hate to actually fucking see. I am so fucking tired of seeing all this hate on my feed. It's nothing but people from all races, all types of politics, everything, just hating each other. Y'all not fucking understand? That's what they want. They want us at each other's motherfucking throats so they can keep us divided. Because they realize that if we fucking took 1 second and woke up to the bullshit they're feeding us and united, we would be unfucking stoppable. But no, we let our baser instincts get a hold. We let our egos get involved, and we start spewing fucking hate. I do not give a fuck about the color of your skin, who you fuck behind closed door, who you pray to, or who you voted for. All of y'all are wrong because you're all hating each other. You're yelling at each other, you're cussing each other, you're threatening each other, and the government and the media are fucking winning. So congratulations on accomplishing exactly what they wanted. Are you proud of yourself? I don't know about you, but I refuse to play into that game. So I'm sending this message out to everyone else. I fucking love you, regardless of who you voted for, regardless of the color of your skin, regardless of who you fuck, and regardless of who you pray to. I hope you all wake the fuck up and have a good day.
All right, so you heard that from the big old Texan family. I'm assuming he's down there in Texas. Even Taraji's on here saying amen. And I couldn't agree more. I gotta be honest with you, I couldn't agree more. And I don't, I'm even just talking about the blacks. Okay, shout out to everyone who is here, but me specifically, I'm talking about the blacks. Y'all got to calm down. Y'all got to calm down, okay? Because I don't understand how it is that you can be so upset and so angry at the same people that you claim you want the support from.
Man, y'all got to relax, bro. Y'all got to relax. Like, for real. Y'all got to relax, man. Y'all be talking about things that's just not realistic at all. Just not realistic.
Yeah, shout out to Angry Man. Y'all got to relax. Y'all got to relax. Because y'all can wild out if you want to. It's your prerogative. But please stop turning around talking about we got to come together, and then if you don't, then you're not a part of the community, the family, the cookout, all that mess. Child, ain't nobody. People tired of hearing that bullshit. People tired of hearing that bullshit. You know why? Because you all never listen to anyone else but yourselves. These people never listen to anyone but themselves, which is why wash, rinse, repeat is the thing. And there's Lucy, Charlie Brown in the football, because what it is that you're doing never seems to work because there's not a firm plan in place. It's reactionary. It's always reactionary. There's no plan on the front end. There's no putting pen to paper. There's no plan A, B, and C should something go wrong. And there's no, shout out to Generation X. You remember when we used to have to write papers? Because I'm sure these people don't do it anymore. Y'all remember when we used to have to write papers? And it was like you had to do, fill me in. You had to do an opening, but you also had to have a thesis, and then you had to have supporting paragraphs, and then you had to have a solution. Y'all remember that? Do these people know any of that anymore? Maybe it is essays, but we had to preliminary, outline. It was outline. Then you had to do a first draft. Then you had to do the damn paper. Then you had to get it graded and then do your corrections. I feel like even though we don't necessarily do those things any longer, and you had to cite your sources, even though we maybe didn't have to do that in real life, I feel like that was a way to teach us to plan things, to know that there's going to be some changes. You may think that this is the best, but then someone will proofread it and let you know that you could make an update here, you could make it better there, you could change this, you could change that. And then you had to go back and do the work. You had to recreate, or you had to modify, I should say. And you had to figure out how to make the changes that someone had asked you to do in order for you to get the best paper. These people don't do that. I know they don't. These people do not do that. I know they don't. And I'm telling you, this is the reason why most of us are the way that we are from Generation X. It's from stuff like that. No, you may not use it in your real life, you think, but the odds are you really are using it, not just in the way that you thought. Okay? So I'm pretty sure that's one of the reasons why, in my mind, with my life and what I try to teach my children, of course, they don't like to listen, but that's on them, is to always have a plan. Always have a plan, always have a backup plan, a plan A, B, C, and D. What the hell is it that you're trying to do? Because if you don't know where you're going, then you don't know how to get there, and you're like a leaf flying around in the wind. And I know I've said that here plenty of times, which means you're going here, you're going there, you're going everywhere. And then these people don't want to accept the results of their actions when we had to accept everything. And that's what the problem is. And then people want to listen to the same people who have proven nothing to you, who have no results, but you still want to listen to them when nothing changes. So if I'm going to make a mistake, I'm going to F my shit up, it's going to be because of me, not because I was listening to somebody that I don't know, ain't never known, will never know, and ain't got the sense that God gave them. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, today, people just love to listen to people for whatever their reasons are, about their own lives, mind you. That's the even funnier part about it. So the Anthonys, I'm going to just call them the Anthonys, was when we was listening to them the other day, they listened to this one, that the black lawyer didn't want the case, then the white lawyer said, and all this crazy stuff, and the National Action Network dude. Y'all, all they had to do is, my thing now is pen to paper. All you had to do is put pen to paper and list some shit out. That's kind of like how you figure out your bills. You write them all down, you see what you got to pay, you figure out what can be paid off first, and then you apply that to the next credit card. That's basically Dave Ramsey's way. I don't know why people don't like that. I don't know why people push against the budget and paying their debt off, but to each his own. So where $600,000+ went, who knows? Who is calculating it? Who was, keeping track of it? I personally really don't care. That's how much I'm just so not interested in any of it, because people just want to continue to listen to the same people for whatever their reasons are. But if you want someone else, and I'm not saying that they're asking for money, but I know people have been saying to donate and to support and do this and do that. Well, you want $1 from me, you're gonna have to tell me and give me the accounting of where $600,000 and almost $700,000 went. Because y'all ain't nobody trying to throw money out the window for nothing, all right? But as soon as you say that, then the colored community is gonna say that you're being an auntie ruckus. No, I'm actually being very responsible, because I need to know where my toss for nothing. I might as well do that for myself. Why am I doing it for you? I don't even know you. Why am I going to toss my money out the window for you, child? I'm going to toss it out the window. I'm tossing it for me. This is what I'm talking about. Oh, you're just selfish? No, I work hard for it. So I'm going to utilize it how I want to. And when someone asks me for it, I'm going to say, well, what the fuck do I get out of it? So y'all think you just go into the bank and say, child, I want y'all to give me some money, and that's just how it works. All right, here you go. No, nobody thinks, child. Nobody thinks. Nobody has a clue about finances or anything like that. And so when you don't know something, instead of going and figuring it out, looking it up and understanding, or asking someone who actually has the knowledge, it's just easier just to say white supremacy, discrimination, and racism. But let me first go over here to my new friend Kingdom Reacts, because he did a video, of course. Shout out to him. It says it's over. Charleston White blasts Carmelo Anthony's father and pulls the funding. So this is kind of a continuation of what we were listening to last night, but I saw he made this video today, or at least he dropped it today. And so this is where I wanted to start. So let me go ahead and get this party started. Hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new. Shout out to all of y'all that are here on a Sunday afternoon.
That's the tale. The outrage was never about Karmelo. It was about who was on the other side. The truth is, y'all don't care when black people destroy other black people. You only care when black people get into it with white people because you need an excuse to justify your own racism. That's the tale.
Now, notice what he's doing here. He's shifting the discussion away from the specifics of the case into a broader conversation about public outrage. Now, whether you agree with him or not, he's asking a different question than most people are asking. Not what happened, but why do people care? And those are two very different conversations. The moment people stop debating facts and start debating motivations and, you know, things of that nature, the temperature rises pretty quickly because now everyone is judging everyone else's intentions. That brings us to another question, right? If people are trying to understand why public opinion formed the way it did, many naturally start, you know, looking at the media.
Carmelo Anthony's father.
Everybody wants public opinion until they don't. Everybody wants public opinion, people's public opinions until they don't. Because there's no reason for us to even know as much as we do, except for people want the public's opinion because they're probably gauging the masses. But at the end of the day, we didn't have nothing to do with none of it because we wasn't on that damn jury. We weren't on that, the jury of 12 or however many it was to be able to make that damn determination on what, when, how, where, and why. So it's just an opinion, but you know, people don't like to hear people's opinions unless it goes along with them, which is another issue that we have in society today. But I digress on that. Apologies, High Tolerance. I appreciate you so much for the very, very generous super chat. Thank you so much, hun. He says, salute Messi. The ship was sunk from the jump. Carmelo Anthony's parents did themselves a great disservice, not cutting ties with Dominic Alexander. Yeah, that's his name. I just call him the National Action Network guy. In defense of Metcalf's dad, we've all have said not so loving things. Grace extended. Well, I actually feel a little bit like, all right. I can just give him a pass on this rant because it's not like we haven't seen and heard people out with their opinions, like that dude that says any good cracker is a dead cracker, but you know, people conveniently forget all that and all the racist things. Black people can't be racist, whatever, all the racist things that all the black people have been saying all this time, and nobody actually involved in this was actually able to say anything because they were under the gag order. So now that he had the opportunity, he came out scorched earth because maybe he saw something that the rest of us didn't because he was in it. You know what I mean? Because now that the Anthonys want to come out here and speak and National Action Network guy wants to come out here and speak, everybody's starting to point fingers. Y'all have that grifter who we learned last night was maybe an actual depredator or something like that and knocking people between the washer and the dryer allegedly. Then you have Charleston White, who I just thought was like a reality person, like a reality Instagram person or something like that. And these are your representatives. So someone like me, when I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, yeah, no, I feel like the choices of the people that you're putting in front of other people to make your decisions or to say that you rock with are a little weird. So I'm gonna have to pull back from this because it seems silly to me. But that's just me, child. That's just me. Come on, Kingdom Reacts. I like this little girl. I just found her. I'm no disrespect calling her a little girl, but clearly she's very young, much younger than me. She could clearly be my daughter, but she's pretty level-headed and thinks things through.
Made a shocking admission in this interview that you're about to watch. Now, I was in the courtroom, and I'm going to be real with you. I knew that Drew Anthony was delusional when I saw him. As you can see, they're just going to continue to play victim. I don't know why they were. Okay. So Drew Anthony is the father, and the mother, I don't know her name, child. This is how much I'm just so with it. So Drew is Carmelo's father,
Okay. I'm getting it together. Thank you, Dallas. I appreciate you. I try, child. I do try.
Even asked when they found out or how they found out. What does it matter? Their son murdered somebody. If the Breakfast Club wants to interview anybody, it should probably be the real victims in the situation, which is Jeff Metcalf, Megan Metcalf, and Hunter Metcalf. Those are the main 3 victims. If they want to interview anybody, they should probably take the time to do that.
Yes, but okay, hold on. I only got one screen. Eureka, her name is Kayla. Who's Kayla? Is Kayla the little girl speaking? No disrespect, little girl. Or is Kayla Carmelo Anthony's mother's name? I'm trying to get it together. Oh, Tamara Neely. Yes, that's her name. Okay, so Kayla Anthony, Drew Anthony, and Tamara Neely. Okay. Now that jogged my mind. All right, y'all. I'm old. Give me grace. All right, give me grace. Thank y'all. I appreciate you. Keep me straight.
4 minutes. You mean to tell me that your son thought it was a good idea to go into someone else's tent, cause trouble by not walking away, stab somebody, and somehow he's still the victim? Please make it make sense.
This criticism isn't really about one interview. It's about expectations, right? People expect interviews to challenge claims, ask difficult questions, right? And address obvious concerns. Now, when viewers feel important questions were skipped, they don't just criticize the interview. They start questioning the purpose of the interview. Now, obviously, these are grieving parents. So I don't want to sit here and act insensitive to that. Now, whether we agree with their approach or not, we all still human. So I'm not going to just completely dismiss that. But I'm just going to say, that's why reactions like this gain traction. They start speaking to a frustration many viewers have already, had about modern media. But media criticism was one layer of the story, right? Soon, politicians and, public figures entered the conversation too.
Can I ask a question, though, before they continue on? Shout out to Kingdom Reacts, and shout out to whoever brought him to my attention. I do like him. The color community is saying that there is this tape that shows that there were 4, 5, 6 dudes, including Austin and Hunter, who were bullying Karmelo under the tent. And I believe that we heard through testimony, through the news sources and not bloggers, that the video was very grainy, but witness account said that Hunter was on his phone, and then Austin came over and started telling Karmelo he had to go because Karmelo came over to talk to a friend that he knew that went to their school, and he said, "I'm not leaving," and blah, 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 blah. But where did the 6 people, 4, 5, 6 people gang up on him? And then, there's allegedly a clear tape. And I'm like, so if there was a clear tape, then why wouldn't someone have played it in court to help? Like all this, I feel like it's getting jumbled. I don't remember hearing that when we were going over it. All I heard was Austin did come over to Karmelo and said, "You got to leave, get out of here, whatever." There's other people saying, "Oh, somebody must have been recording on their phone." Where's these recordings at? Because we know for a fact, and I'm saying for a fact, that these crumb snatchers, gremlins, young people, Generation Z, whatever they are, they do record. And you know what else they do? Post that shit online. Say I'm lying. So you mean to tell me if there were kids who happened to be recording, because from what we understand, there was not a lot of people there, the tents weren't up yet because it was early in the morning, that maybe they weren't necessarily recording because there was no action yet on the field, but now all of a sudden they wasn't going to post it? Child, we done seen people go rob people, post it. Go steal shit, post it. Go commit red rum, post it. Aren't we the ones that said all the oppressor has to do is grab some donuts, coffee, go to their computer, and just wait for something to be uploaded in order to solve the crime? Because they always tell on themselves. So I just want to know where this tape is. That's the clear tape, mind you, that the color community wants to go with. And why is it that it wasn't introduced to the court? Why is it that the defense attorney didn't say, oh, here's the clear version, we got it, and this proves that he was being jumped. Because if you were being jumped, then maybe you'd have a reason. Maybe, I said maybe you'd have a reason. This is not me coming down at Karmelo at this point, but I am starting to believe, if I can be honest right now, that he's another casualty at this point, after the incident, I'm gonna call it, after the incident. Now he's just being utilized for people to get what they want. So it's another, which goes along with what I've been saying, y'all. Let's not act like I haven't been saying this. With you sassies, the blacks are only good when you are in jail or you are deceased. That's the only time that you're good. That's the only time that you're useful. So might as well get as much from you as someone can until you're not useful anymore. Does that make sense? Because I don't even want to, say anything about Karmelo anymore. What's done is done. I've seen plenty of real news programs of various forms that are saying that he may not get his appeal, and even if he does, the odds are it's not going to work. So all of these stupid ass choices, seemingly, allegedly, based off of what we heard, because they're speaking, it's not even made up at this point. Now that the gag order is lifted, it sounds like you made some pretty dumbass mistakes at the expense of this boy down. So we already knew that there were two minor kids, and I'm saying minor because they were under 18, who are already effed up, who are already, one's out of here and the other one's life is basically ruined. And it seems like it's we're gonna get as much as we can out of this until till after a year, and then he's gonna just be gone, left on his own. I'm not saying his parents don't care about him. I'm not saying they're none of that. All I'm saying is I feel like this is another situation of we got another black man in a situation. The world's got the attention, well, at least the United States has his attention. The color community has all the attention. Let's push it and get as much as possible until maybe it's not an option anymore. That's what it's seemingly looking like to me. Free Amber's Choker says if he was jumped, his mugshot would have bruises. I was thinking the same thing. The mugshot's clear as day. There's not a bruise, there's not a cut, there's not a scratch, because y'all know these biatches be up on the internet with all their photos. Say I'm lying. Child, who is it lately? Who's the last one? Big Tigger's wife, I think it is, up here with all her scars and bruises. And I'm always like, girl, why do we care about this? Some people will think that I'm just uncaring. I probably am, because I'm tired of you bitches bringing it to the internet instead of going to the damn police. What the hell are we supposed to do with this shit? Especially if you're going to stay with him, girl, clearly you're been with him. So why are you bringing it to the internet now? You finally decided that you was going to leave him. Well, girl, just leave him. Go tell the oppressor and leave us alone. Because then as soon as we say some shit you don't want to hear, then y'all all mad with us. We ain't got shit to do with this. You brought this to us. Child, sorry, y'all. Anyway, let me get back to this video. Sorry, y'all.
And that's when this debate expanded far beyond the courtroom.
Black women, especially black women who have black male children.
She ain't even got no kids. Now she talking about, but do you hear how she started this, y'all? This, in my opinion, proves my point that I keep saying. Black women, girl, what? This is how she starts this off. Black women. This is not even, none of this is about no black women, y'all. None of this is about no black women. It's about one white kid and one black kid. That's what this is about. But see how they're going to find a way to put themselves in the middle of it? Black women. Well, you do know that black women also have female children, and they also have significant others and spouses, but we don't want to bring that up. It's just black women. So people don't seem to see, not y'all, you know what I'm saying? People don't seem to see that this is grifting on her part to get the color community all riled up again, so that they can say Republicans are racist, white people are racist, everybody is racist, so make sure that you vote for Democrats. Now, mind you, the person's probably going to be white, but they not racist. Just the ones that we tell y'all are racist are the ones that are racist, but everyone else is good if we say that they're good. Does no one see this but me? Bueller? All right, it's just me. I know. Let's go ahead and make it even worse, Heifer.
live in
It expanded far beyond the courtroom.
Black women, especially Black women who have Black male children, live in fear and agony every single day.
I am a Black woman, and even though I don't have sons, I do not live in fear and agony every single day. Can I just attest to that? I do not live in fear every day. All right. I'm just saying. They love to make this seem like all these Black. 1 minute you're strong, independent, you don't need a man. The next minute you got fear every day. We got a fear every day. There's fear every day. We scared. We can't. Oh my God, we can't do this. But then y'all, the ones out here, always run off at the mouth. See, this is turning very political. Her jumping into it, first of all, is very political, right? Second of all, then there's this Black women. So the men that are Black don't count? Because you're technically fighting for a Black man. Hello, Bueller. But you never want to talk about Black men. Bueller, again. Unless you are dead or you are in jail.
A fear and agony that I promise you, the Metcalfs probably never spent a day living that way. And we're gonna have to have just some real conversations about race in this country. If a 300-pound
No, we don't have to have conversations about race. You see how she just turned it right to exactly what I said. No, Jazzy, we don't need to hear from you about race. We don't, because we know that you are a race hustler grifter. They love to get on this, y'all. I'm gonna need people to see this. These people separate, and I hate to belabor this point, but I love it when I'm right. I love it when I'm right. Yes, I said that. I meant that. It is a freaking separation going on within. And then when these biatches want you sassy straights all in, you must come, you must go, you must do. The misandry is oozing at this point. The misandry is oozing at this point. And that's what this is all about. So it's not even about Karmelo, okay? She's talking about Black women. It just went off of Karmelo. Black women live in fear every day. Child, can you keep your eye on the prize? I thought the person that we're supposed to be worried about is Karmelo. I thought Karmelo and his family was the problem. Black women, especially ones with kids. So when she says especially the ones with kids, she ain't even talking about Karmelo no more. She's talking about Black women. Hear this, y'all. Do you hear what I'm saying? Do you hear the words that are coming out of my mouth? Telling themselves. Every single time. Every single time. She ain't even she about to be out of Congress. She's still going to find a way to grift with the racism and with the Black women and everything that we go through and everything that we put up with. And it's just not fair. And then when we have sons on top of it, ma'am, this is not about you. Ma'am, this is not about Black women. This is about Karmelo Anthony and his mom and dad, which lest we not forget, which Jazzy seems to have forgotten. He has a mother and a father. He has a mother and a father. She's still gonna figure out a way to make it about Black women, child. Has anyone else said this about what the fuck this heifer is saying? This is crazy, and yet it's typical, and it's not about him. It's not about him when she says this. It's about her and her agenda and the Black woman agenda. Y'all are usurped again, meaning you sassy straights, the Black ones. You don't matter. You're nothing. You're nobody. Okay? You're good to these people again. You're going to hear me say it over and over and over again. You're going to get tired of me. When you're dead or when you are in trouble. Oh, this is something that we can get the colored community behind. We can make this about Black women, and then we can get our political aspirations done so that we can continue to line with what color? Because the only color that matters to these people is green. How many times have I said that? If I had a dime for every time. That's all they freaking care about. That's all they fucking care about, child. Come on, heifer.
Man is beating me, like on top of me and beating me down.
Now it's about a man that's on top of her and beating her down. I thought this was about Karmelo. Now it's about a man that's on top of me and beating me down. Where did that come from? Child, where did that even come from? Now we just making up shit just to make it more dramatic, to play on heartstrings, to say these ninjas ain't ish, they don't do ish, they ain't got ish, they ain't gonna be ish. But if they get in trouble, then we will come to their rescue and we will make sure that we're out here in these streets so that we can get as much visibility, shout out to Anton, and attention that we possibly can and come up off of it as much as possible. How come they just not coming and talking to y'all just because? Not because anybody is in trouble, inviting you in. Why is it only black women and not black men? Why is it always a separation? Why is she talking about some man that might be beating her? That's not even the case. The case is the fact that Karmelo deleted, excuse me, another kid. She ain't even on that type of time. She ain't even on that type of time. The only ignorant person here is you, because you're not trying to hear it, because you probably one of them fake ass pro-blacks that think that everything is about black and white when it's about people like grifting ass Jasmine Crockett who gonna make this shit about women because she's a misandrist that hates men and is using this daggone situation, specifically this Karmelo Anthony thing, to bring herself up and all the people that are with her. But y'all are so ignorant and y'all are so engrossed in this stupid shit because you think that you have something you got to listen to her because your life fucking sucks, or you think that somebody's beating your ass or whatever the hell it is that you can relate to it. Somebody on the outside like me, I don't relate to shit like this because I would not get myself in a situation like this because I got common fucking sense. Because some of y'all love to have somebody freaking knocking you between the wash machine and the dryer because that shit turns you on. Shout out to hybristophilia. Wait, hybristophilia is the one where you like people in jail, right? Whatever. You into some bullshit that's bullshit, and then turn around thinking everybody's supposed to give you empathy and sympathy because you decided to get with an ain't shit ninja that you knew was an ain't shit ninja. Because like I done told y'all, we know an ain't shit ninja when we dealing with an ain't shit ninja. I don't care what they tell you. And I can confirm that 1000%. But again, this is supposed to be about Karmelo. She making it about black women. Now she pulling at the heartstrings with if somebody knock you between the washer and the dryer. See, because you ignorance, like that ignorant person a second ago, don't be paying attention because your mind's already made up and you only want to look at it one way when it's absolutely a completely different damn way. Shout out to Big Boy. Thank you, boo. He said, damn, we ain't shit. I done told you. I'm telling y'all. Say I'm not wrong. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, but you know I'm not wrong. It is the same play over and over and over again. It's wild. And this is totally playing in front of your face. Not you in particular, or any of y'all in particular, but they just play in front of your face. Just like with Obama, which people like her and everybody else can just forgive him no matter what he does and says. I'm never going to forget that nigga chastising y'all because y'all are not voting the way that you supposed to. Because you supposed to be about Cam the way that you were with me. Y'all supposed to just ignore that, sassies. You just supposed to do what anybody tells you to do. It doesn't matter who it is. That is your obligation because you ain't shit. All right. And then when that nigga said that you should have a gay man in your home when you have a son in your home, even if you have a man in the home, you still should bring in an ABCD. He ain't say shit about daughters. He just said sons. Don't review the fucking catalog. We have already covered that shit. Google it if you need to. That nigga said it right on his damn wife's podcast. And like, nobody else seemed to have an issue with that? Are you fucking kidding me? Because the color community just, what is the word? They adore and Obama can do no wrong. Fuck that nigga, okay? He ain't but a fucking person like the rest of us. And those are two things that I am never going to forget again, ever in my life, with his ignorant ass. Shout out to Vernon. Thank you, Vernon, for being in the building. I appreciate you, hon. He said, keep on doing your thing, Messy. Keep us informed. Thank you, boo. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Shout out to all of y'all. Please make sure you hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new. I know I keep interrupting, but I don't want this shit to be missed because I'm telling you, I'm telling you, it's not as many people that are paying attention to it as far as I'm concerned and hearing this shit. I feel like, and at this point, I feel like it is so not even about Karmelo anymore. I just feel like it's totally going away from Karmelo. I'm not saying that there's not a fraction of people out there who are straight up, they're concerned with Karmelo. I definitely believe that that's the case, okay? But some of these tricky dicky ass politicians, well-to-do people, upper echelon, D9, boule, and child, ain't about that. It's about how far they can take it in order to get what it is that they need moving right along, in my opinion. And you most certainly can't. Look at her goofy ass face. I should get this damn screenshot. Hold on, let me get this screenshot. Give me a second, chat. I ain't even see it. Goofy ass. All right, I know I'm ghetto. I know. But yeah, so I letting people talk now. Everybody want to talk. We got to be listening. We got to be paying attention and try to understand where people are coming from. But this misandrist is always on a misandrist type of time.
Living that way. And we're going to have just some real conversations about race in this country. If a 300-pound man is beating me, like on top of me and beating me down, I'm not limited to fist. You know, I would argue that even the only time we go into things like people's hands being considered deadly weapons is typically like if they're a professional boxer or that kind of stuff. But I think by the time you start getting to like football player, good argument. Good freaking argument. We're not talking about like the golfers. We're talking about football players, right? Like this is what they are trained to do, is to inflict like serious physical contact. And it's my understanding that the decedent was.
Okay, so hold on.
So
also,
now you want to bring in big old 300-pounders and child. Remember, y'all, I know y'all sick of me. Remember when we were covering Chicago and that lady who was in the restaurant with the dude that she started arguing with, and I know Kennard remembers, and the son had to come in and wail off on him and took him on up out of here, but she was in the store arguing with that big ass, tall ass man that probably didn't look like, you know, he had anything to lose. How come the lesson is never stay out of the face of big 300-pound football players? Because child, I promise you that's never gonna happen. How about sometimes you just know that you don't have to be the I'ma tell you person every single daggone time? Can that be a thing? I'ma tell you. You're not gonna tell me. I'ma tell you. You heard what I said? Because I'ma tell you. You're not gonna tell me. I'ma tell you. That ever stop? When does anybody start saying that? Because I'm telling you, you know how the narrative, or maybe the case is, you know, I'm sure it is, but you know, I'm trying to be careful right now, that Black women basically run the community. They're not going to give up any power. So that's why it's always, I'ma tell you. So even when Sassy Straits try to take the community back, they're not going to give it up. That's power. All this also comes down to power and who's in charge and who can tell. That's why you got the Black Cindy Brady talking about, if you Tariq Nasheed, Kevin Samuels, men don't get behind, boy, what the women. Another thing that I will never forget hearing. I'm just saying. I mean, the plan is out there. This is crazy. Come on, Kingdom.
Oh, Stephen Miller, he replied to this. It says Stephen Miller rips Jasmine Crockett as psychotic after she said, quote, Black women live in agony every day that I...
Damn, the white man came through and said the same damn thing I said. Well, shout out to him, because child, it's not just me hearing it then.
Promise the Metcalfs have never lived through, end quote. Here's where things get complicated, right? The more people connect a specific case to larger social issues, the more disagreement tends to follow. Some people see broader context, others see distraction from the facts of the case itself. What's striking is how quickly the discussion moved from one teenager, one confrontation, and one verdict to a national argument about race, justice, fear, politics, and identity. At that point, another voice into the discussion. Yeah, Not from outside the community, but from inside it.
Some of the black people that got struck.
Oh, my bad, y'all. I'm over here doing too much. Let's get to it.
Some of the black people that got struck because one of the guys said, I don't know if I can put a brother in jail. That's what my nigga lied against.
So I ain't saying lie, but I get what he's
lied to these people.
And it's stuff like this is the reason why a lot of races do not trust black people. And let me explain to you guys what I mean by that. As you can probably see from the video, you guys, we have a group of podcasters, and they're saying that they needed more black jurors on this case so Karmelo Anthony could be freed. One of them mentioned saying that one of their friends or a black person that they know said that they couldn't be on the juror because they didn't want to convict a young black man for murder. And his response to that was saying, nigga, just lie. And see, this is why I do what I do and I say what I say, because if I don't, then who will? We have a black person saying that I don't want to convict a young black man because I know he's guilty. I know from the depths of my heart he's guilty. But you're saying as another black man, we have to get back at white people, so lie. There's a growing narrative that the reason why Karmelo Anthony was put in jail is because his jury was all white. One, his jury was not all white. That's the first part. His jury was made up of white people, Muslims, and Indians. And secondly, if the jury was majority black, then he would have been let go, not because he was innocent, because of the color of his skin. It is very obvious that there's a growing majority of African Americans that only make decisions based off of the color of their skin. It doesn't matter if you're right. It doesn't matter if you're wrong. All that matters is if you're black or white. And if you're not black, you're wrong. If you're not black, then you're not on the right side. And then once again, you guys, what does that say to other races? Like, of course, black people are always going to be a part of jury duty. But what if other races see that a lot of other black people make decisions not based off of sound and proper critical thinking skills, but based off of race? They won't trust us. I keep on trying to tell people, it does not matter what you do as an individual. It matters what the group of individuals do. That's how reputation works. Black people are not suffering from racism. They're suffering from their own reputation. Everybody's against us. The Asians are against us. The Mexicans are against us. The white people are against us. Why? Talking about boycotting Asian businesses. Y'all niggas can't even stop shooting each other in the streets. What exactly are we doing now? We as the black community are making incompetent black trash the vocal point for our entire culture. And now a lot of us are complaining because a lot of races look down on us. It doesn't make sense. This is why taking responsibility and accountability is important. So once again, if you are a normal functioning black person, stand up to trash black culture so we can change for the better. I hope this helps.
All right, so that was interesting. I've never heard that before. So this is what I say, which I've said before about jury duty, okay? First of all, most black people ain't trying to go to jury duty. Most people aren't trying to go. Let's be honest. Most people don't want to go to jury duty, okay? Across the board, everybody, right? I know y'all all go, all right? Please. Most people do not want to go to jury duty, and they try their best to get out of it. You never heard anybody say, oh, I can't wait to go to jury duty. Just my dumb ass some time ago. But I don't try to get out of it. I just do the shit and get it over with because I get paid. So that's also the other thing. When you have a job, you have a decent job and you're actually out here working and you're not dependent on, the government and some crazy ass bullshit, or you're not a stripper, your job will pay you, and then you get paid from the state, the county, whatever the hell it is, wherever the jury duty is, right? Not a big deal. But we already also know that every single time that there is a campaign season, that the Democrats come out saying register to vote, register to vote, register to vote, which is always weird to me because as soon as you are 18, you should be going to register to vote. But for some reason, that's not a norm. That's a problem. That's just not a norm in the community. That's a problem. That's why you got Rolly running around talking about vote like a black woman. What the fuck does that even mean anyway? That is insulting yet again to men. Or voting and no voting, no fucking. Y'all know what that was about. Because the only thing that you are also equated to is effing. You know what I'm saying? All this ignorant ass shit that don't make no daggone sense. But we just supposed to fall in line with that. That is what being on code is supposed to be about, to go along with all this ignorant ass shit that these people are saying. So in order to be on juries, you have to be registered to vote. So therein lies enough of the issue. So if you're not going to be registered to vote, you're not going to get picked for jury duty. That's just how it works. So then if you go to daggone jury duty, you're trying to get out of it. You're not trying to serve on cases to try to do anything. Do you know necessarily all the time what case you're going to be in? Maybe in this particular case you knew, but most times you don't know. It's random. You don't know till you get there until they put you on the case, and it's usually typically some shit about a car accident. For me, it's usually been something about insurance in a car accident, right? But if you're not doing what you need to do, you're never going to get there anyway. You're never going to get there anyway. And then you're trying to get out of it. So first you try to get out of it by answering the questionnaire, talking about you got to work, you got to work, you got to work. Then you get in there and you say something like, who would say that out loud? Oh, I just can't put a brother in jail. Of which we can be thankful for your honesty. At the same time, it's like, okay, but if that's the way that enough people are going to be answering, meaning the colored community, you're not going to be picked on jury, especially according to y'all, because I'm not really sure. You have 3% a black community there. So how many black people did you think were going to be on the damn jury? And he's right. The other people were like Asian, Mexican, or Hispanic or something like that. So it technically wasn't all white. Technically it wasn't. But there was just no blacks. So first of all, it probably wasn't a lot out there. Second of all, it's probably enough that was trying to get out of it. And then we heard about 2 or 3 that they didn't want to have on the daggone jury. Now, could there be some goings on down there in that area? From what I understand, there very well should be. At the same time, you need to know where you live. You need to know where you choose to go. Understand what I'm saying? Because others will say in the community, you think you all that, you think you white, you think you this, you left the community, you don't help nobody. You know, those are things that are said. So if you're going to go to a place because you're moving on up, which is nothing wrong with moving on up, right? You still can't forget, in my opinion, what I was trying to explain with Bill Cosby video is that you still have to explain to your kids. Listen, I am living in reality. I'm not saying that it's right, but I'm living in reality. You still have to tell your kids how they're supposed to act and what they are and aren't supposed to do. Now, I understand that these are 2 kids. These were 2 minors. Let me say minors in this particular situation, right? I'm specifically talking about Bill Cosby used to say, or let me rephrase. Parents back when I was younger, shout out to Generation X, used to tell their sons, and I don't even have any sons, and I know this. They used to tell their sons, and even before Generation X, that if you get pulled over, you keep your hands, 2 and 10 on the wheel, have your driver's license ready, don't make any sudden moves, blah, 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 right? And then the goal was to make it home, we'll handle it later. The goal is to make it home, and then we'll handle it later. That's what I heard when I was younger. And that's what people in my Generation X typically told their sons. Is this stuff being told anymore? I mean, because when the community is saying every day, racism, white supremacy, racism. So where are the conversations that was happening way back when? So y'all just don't have those conversations anymore so that your kids can know? Now, no one is saying that it was okay. Just say that Austin actually was bullying, pressing on him, whatever you call it, right? Now y'all are out here condoning death. Now y'all are basically, we played the videos. Y'all are actually out here condoning death. Remember when people used to, step on your sneakers, specifically in New York, because y'all know y'all got the lock on sneakers, right? And that was a big damn deal that people was fighting and possibly losing your life over stepping on somebody's new white sneakers. I thought we have evolved from this. I thought we have learned from those things. I thought we have moved forward from those things, that now there's people up on this here internet that are saying that it makes sense to take people out if they even pushed you or whatever. A lot of people, not even just black people, just a lot of people can't even keep their kids, keep a check on their mentality when they're in school now with regular bullying. And unfortunately, there's a lot of bullying that goes on in the schools, but the kids are not getting it out. People are not paying attention to them. Unfortunately, they're self-deleting. There's too much of that going on as well. I think people need to make sure that they parenting their kids all the time. It doesn't end. Let me tell y'all, I got one that's 30 some odd. I got one that's 20 some odd. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. They always gonna come back. They always gonna be asking. They always gonna be in situations. They always gonna be checking back in. And sometimes you just gotta go say, now look at here. Damn it. I don't care if you get mad. This don't make no damn sense, and don't do it again. You know what I'm saying? But you know, a lot of people just think that, you know, they old enough. Karmelo was doing, what was he? Working 2 jobs, saved the kid's life, got good grades, went to school. That's the other thing, y'all. Hold on. He was doing all that, which was great. You know who else was doing all that? Bronny James was doing all that. He ain't in no trouble. He over there trying to make his NBA dreams come true. His deity was going to help him with it. He brought out his white girlfriend. The community had a fit. Say I'm lying. Community had a fit. He brought her out again the next year. They had more of a fit. So, child, you try and tell me that young man that's LeBron James's child ain't hurt nobody. And guess where he lives? He lives and goes to school in an area that ain't necessarily in the community. I'm going to say it like that. So who the hell you think he hanging around? You think he about to bring, child, where my list at? I should have had my list of names ready. Shaniqua, Keisha, LaQuisha, Alua. You think he gonna bring them people through? No, he bringing Jane. That he live around Jane and Becky, child. What do y'all expect to happen? Seems like Karmelo maybe was living around Jane and Becky and Lupita, actually. Is T-Brew here? Because I ain't trying. Oh Lord, he's here. Lupita. His girlfriend was Hispanic, or is Hispanic, since that's still his girlfriend. Now, if it was any of you sassy straights, it would be a fate worse than death for y'all to be out here, because that's y'all's preference with anyone that's not a black woman. So they saw Karmelo's girlfriend, and they don't have a problem with it. They don't have a problem with it at all. It's all good. They don't even mention it for one damn minute, moment, or second. You know why? Because he's now a criminal. He's in jail. And so now they got to continue to go and support it. Now they got to continue to say, that's our brother. We got to do everything. And it looks like that support allegedly is going wayward, in my opinion. It ain't. I feel like it's not even about him anymore. But come on, child.
This clip focuses on reputation and accountability. And regardless of where someone stands politically, reputation is a powerful force. People don't just evaluate individuals, they evaluate groups and institutions, movements and communities. The speaker's argument is essentially that behavior influences perception. Now, whether viewers agree or disagree, that's the central point being debated. And then the conversation took another turn, because for some observers, the concern wasn't only what people were saying, it's how some supporters were behaving.
Now, you mean to tell me some of you black folks ain't going too far? Now, this guy goes and pisses on Austin grave.
Shout out to Mika, who told me about that thing, which I didn't know was a thing. Now, imagine, that's all wrong. I don't care what nobody says. I know I see you. Lord help your people. Lord help me. Shout out to Mika, the messy conservative, who told me that a few days ago, which I had no idea. Now, just imagine, and y'all know I hate doing this. I hate it. But just imagine if it was George Floyd's, just to use someone that they were wild out over. George Floyd's grave, and you started seeing people who supported Austin Metcalf go over there and do that mess. Child, streets would burn. Say I'm lying. The streets would burn. Say I'm lying. But somehow, some way, it seems like it's acceptable to go and do that to Austin. Honestly, it's pretty disgusting on anybody's grave. Is nothing sacred? Is nothing sacred in any way, shape, or form? First of all, it's a graveyard. Second of all, it's graves. It's deceased people. They're out of here. Leave those people alone. Nope, don't want to look at it like that. It's all fun and games until it's not. And then nothing about that is fun, funny, or a game.
Do you know how disgusting that makes us look? That's why I wish they just say some black folks.
Well, I was gonna say let's make sure that we get this straight. That don't represent me, and I ain't got nothing to do with none of that. I don't give a damn. The ignorants are going ignorant.
Because I'm not with this bullshit. I don't disrespect myself like that. That shit didn't make no sense whatsoever. See, now right now, if somebody would have caught him that's in that family and beat the shit out of him, y'all would have been marching for him. Because I see the comments. Y'all so proud of what the fuck he did. Because y'all the ones that's the problem. Y'all are the problem. Anybody condone this scumbag pissing on this little boy's grave is a scumbag. Anybody that support him, y'all the problem. I don't want no parts of that shit. Okay? That's not my style. Never was and never will be. And then you wonder why they look at all black people like savages. Because y'all condone this shit. Y'all condone it. That is so disgusting and totally out of pocket. And what's he going to accomplish for that? What's going to be accomplished out of that? What? And y'all so proud of him. What are y'all proud of? He didn't make sure your school system got any resources. He ain't stopped the black on black crime. But y'all proud of him because he pissed on a white boy grave. Y'all disgusting. And I don't want no damn part of it. Call me Uncle Tom.
This may be the most emotional part of this entire discussion, not because of legal arguments, but because of political arguments, because it deals with conduct. The speaker, she isn't debating evidence. She's reacting to behavior, right? And throughout history, public movements have often...
Not only the person who ever did it originally, but now it's AI. So they're just, people are filling in their faces, right? And then they're posting that. I don't know where they're posting it at. I don't really care, right? So here's the other thing that I've been saying, and I know y'all tired of hearing me, but I'm gonna keep repeating myself, right? This is something that when it's so, because this is so polarizing, that's actually the right word with this case, that if you go viral and you have a job and your job sees it and then they wild out over it and you lose it, we ain't trying to hear nothing from you. Because everybody's like, what I do on my own time, you would think, but y'all made it this way. Because back in 2020, when people was doing whatever, remember they was mimicking the George Floyd and to whoever that damn oppressor was, and reenacting it and going to Halloween parties and doing all this ignorant ass racist shit. It definitely was, right? But when they was doing all that, y'all said, we calling your company. You were about to lose your job. Remember that? Again, never think about when the tides turn. So here's the tides turning. Y'all keep on doing this crazy mess. And now you want to say it's freedom of speech. Oh, freedom of speech when it's convenient for you. Your job has social media policies. I don't know why y'all don't know this, because y'all don't know how to handle the social media, because y'all use it as your diary. And then you end up in trouble because you can't keep your mouth shut. I said before this happened, I said, remember this. It's starting to be a thing, y'all. Trust me when I tell you. And this mess with this pissing on graves, that could be the next thing where a bunch of people getting the F on up out of here. Chris, thank you, boo. He said, I don't want to hear that Jesus is black. Okay, then don't watch Good Times, child, because that's definitely what Michael said. Who just said something? I think it was Big Boy. Yes, the thing with Charlie Kirk. The assassination of Charlie Kirk. That too. When it's something that's political or even just a big to do in the media, people got to be careful what they do and what they say if they work for a place that if the blowback comes back, your ass gonna be in trouble.
And judged as much by their actions as by their arguments. That's what she's wrestling with here. And after all that commentary, after all the reactions, all the debates, there's still one perspective that carries a unique weight. The perspective of a father who lost his son.
Why aren't these people grasping that justice was served here?
You have to ask them. My opinion is they are of low IQ, no moral compass whatsoever, blinded by race, and generally a nuisance to society.
Jeff, you said you...
Wait, another interview? Child, all these people is out here. He did another interview? Hold on. Child, Lord help your people.
There's still one perspective that carries a unique weight. The perspective of a father who lost his son.
Why aren't these people grasping that justice was served here?
You have to ask them. My opinion is they are of low IQ, no moral compass whatsoever, blinded by race, and generally a nuisance to society.
Jeff, you said you forgave Karmelo Anthony after he took your son's life. Tell me about that. What was going through your mind, your heart, your soul on that?
Well, I've said this multiple times over in many interviews. Forgiveness is actually for me. So I don't carry the hate, the rage, the anger, because if you carry something like that inside you and you don't release it, it's like cancer. It's going to eat you up from the inside out. It's going to consume you. And I'll be honest, look at these people. Are they consumed with, everyone has a right to protest. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. But
But I agree with Lauren as well. Like some of this stuff is very cringy that this man has been saying. At the same time, now that he's talking about also the protesters and they're still out here and they're going out and protesting, they're doing this and doing that. Again, what is that really about Karmelo at the end of the day? So what is the plan? Like I always say, what is the plan? What are the moves? What are the objectives? Well, how long is it going to take? If this doesn't work, what is the next step? What comes after that? You know what I mean? What is the plan? There isn't one. It's all based off emotion, y'all. I'm telling you. And all that's going to do is get people more riled up. It ain't going to go the way that anybody, I guess, quote unquote, is thinking that they want it to go. Nothing ever changes. Wash, rinse, repeat. Y'all, I'm tired of saying it. I know y'all tired of me, but it's still the same old crap. It's just a different daggone day. Wash, rinse, repeat. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, boo. Shout out to Trend. Thank you so much. Very generous of you, hun. He said, MSG King Trend ain't something. MSG. Shout out to Chris Reed for another 10. Thank you, hun. He said, I think that should be against the law to fire somebody when they clocked out and off the property. What you do off the property and clocked out over a job that should be your business. Like I said, that's why there's now a social media policy, because people can't be the fuck quiet on the internet and have to tell every bit of their business, which is highly inappropriate. Get a damn diary. And if you're not checking your social media policy, you can think whatever you want, but what's in writing that you signed is all that matters. And I promise you, well, I can't tell you about the video I did because it's not out yet, but I'm telling you, people do not read. And the things that we have been seeing lately of kids trying to read because someone put something in their face, they cannot read and they do not comprehend. And in my opinion, that's one of the more important things that the community need to worry about than some of the things that they do worry about. If your kids can't read and your kids don't comprehend, how well do you think they're going to do out here in society? Child, you got people taking out leases. They don't know what the hell it is that they sign. And you got people sitting up here about to be evicted. They running off at the mouth. And I can tell, because I tell you what I know and I tell you what I don't know. I can tell every single time when it comes to rentals and tenants and credit and things of that nature that they don't know what the fuck they talking about. And they didn't read a damn thing. And that's on you, whoever, if you don't read what it is that you're signing or have a lawyer read it. Either way, that's a you problem. And you can't blame nobody else. So it might not be right, but it is what it is. Because we now live in 2026 where everyone is recording and talking and uploading and carrying on. And these companies are not losing millions and billions and trillions because you couldn't shut the fuck up about your Roe v. Wade back in 2022. Okay? That's not me coming for you. I'm just speaking. That's all. Thank you so much. Shout out to Dallas for being a member for 6 months. I see Boo. She said, I have to work in these spaces. First, zero tolerance policies and others was at risk. This location where this happened should be accountable as well. Where what happened, Boo? Where you mean the stadium? Is that what you mean? Have to work in these spaces. First, zero tolerance policies and others were at risk. This location where this happened should be accountable as well. If you mean the school, I mean, I'm sure that they're liable insurance wise and all that type of stuff. I feel like, from what I understand, this happened in less than 5 minutes. So it was also the beginning of the day. Track is a long ass day. If you've all have ever been to a track meet or been a part of track, it is a long ass day. You could be over here doing the 4x this, the 5x that, the high jump over here, the long distance running. Shout out to the pen relays. I don't know if that must have came and went. I don't even pay attention to it anymore, but it is a long ass day. It is a lot of people. And from my understanding, this was at the very beginning of the day. So I don't even think people were ready for anything at that point. So this is crazy to have all this happen so quickly. Chris, I thank you for another 5. He said, so if you off the clock and off the job property, that still give the job a ship of you. give the job on a ship of you. And I don't know what that means, but the bottom line is if y'all not reading your social media policies, which I promise you and guarantee you, any Fortune 500 company has a social media policy and you don't know what it is, that is on you. Like it, love it, leave it, go work for yourself. Don't argue with me. I ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm telling you what it is. Like I said, I know what I know and I tell you what I don't know. And what I do know is that you better be reading them social media policies, okay? I'm gonna leave it at that. Serby says, shout out to Serby says, thank you, hun. Shout out that jury for putting Karmelo in a cage. Well, the decision was a decision. Like it, love it. That's it. That's all. Come on, child.
Realistically, let's look at the facts. Let's look at the case. They have the right for an appeal. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. This case was ironclad, and people understand in the appeals, they're looking for procedural errors. They're not going to retry the case. They're not going to introduce new evidence. There's not any new testimony or new facts that are going to come out. And
I don't think that not having black people on the jury is a reason that you get granted an appeal, but I could be wrong.
For appeal. So, but the actions of these people outside the courthouse, I don't have to say a word. Their character shows through, and that's all I'll say. And to be honest, every video I've seen is a certain demographic. I don't see other people acting like this, but that's who they choose to be. As long as they stay in their lane, I'm okay. Just don't come in my lane.
Jeff,
child, see, basically, Metcalf just said, I can't change nobody's opinion about shit, so stay the fuck away from me. Now, who says that now? Who said that? Oh, yeah, me. Because I ain't got time to be trying to change no fucking racist because I can't and I don't give a fuck. Like I said, I have no doubt that there's plenty of racists that work around me and could be people above me. I don't give a fuck. Because if I see something that ain't right, I'm going to say something about it. I'm going to take it to whoever the fuck I need to take it to. But I'm assuming that they don't want to lose their livelihood and lose their jobs, so they act accordingly. Okay? So that's that. That's what he's saying. That's what I say too. I'm not offended by that. I'm not offended by that. Others might be. Because why the hell, like I told y'all, if you looking crazy and you coming down the street, I'm crossing the street. I said that, I meant that. I said that, I meant that. I mean it now. I might back the fuck up. I might do the Homer Simpson into the damn bushes. If you looking crazy, I'm out of there. I'm getting away from you. I'm not going to a sundown town, a sundown town, whatever it's called. And I ain't going to the fucking hood. Neither one. Okay? Because I got common fucking sense. I'm just saying, other people want to try to change other people. Ain't nobody going to change nobody but themselves. And if they don't want to change, then they won't. And it's not my job. It's not my headache. I don't give a fuck. As long as I'm putting people out into the world that ain't hurting nobody, that's my job. My job is done. I've already done that. Child, I don't give a damn about none of y'all. Not y'all. Well, some of y'all anyway.
Thank you for saying that.
Yes, man, I said enough. You don't have to agree with every statement someone makes in grief, but grief changes the way people hear a message. Because unlike the rest of us, this isn't a news story for him. It isn't a social media conflict. It isn't a political issue. It's personal. And that's something easy to lose sight of when debates stretch for months. The courtroom reached its conclusion. The public conversations rarely end when the verdict arrives. Sometimes they begin there. And what we've seen since this verdict is not just a debate about one case. It's a debate about media, accountability, race, public behavior, grief, and justice. Whatever your view may be, one thing is definitely clear. People often reveal more about themselves after a verdict than they do before. So let me know your thoughts below. And if you made it to the end of this video.
I appreciate Kingdom Reacts. Let me go over here to child. I don't really I gotta get my life together for Stephen A. Smith, child, because he was out here talking. Let me go to ARP. Shout out to ARP, A Righteous Perspective, who was on a panel the other day with a couple of people. I'm not sure if I'll go over it or not, but it was very interesting conversation with a bunch of pastors and some religious people. So shout out to Sean, what's his name? I forget the name of the channel, but we watch him sometimes. Anyway, so ARP says Karmelo Anthony's support erodes after Charleston White pulls the plug. So we watched Charleston White last night, and I'm still a little confused why anybody would listen to him with regard to anything, but I digress. Shout out to Anton, who allowed him to come onto his show last week and run off at the mouth and sound half damn crazy. And then everybody was feeling sorry for him. And then 3 days later, he out here talking about, I don't want nothing to do with none of these people because what is his name? Drew Anthony. Because he's basically a LTM, a low testosterone man. Child, he been that. So what's changed? That's not new. The man's personality is his personality. Something going on there that we might not know about. I don't know about. But clearly, with everybody talking, we will figure it, or we will hear it at some point. But shout out to ARP. Let's listen to this video.
I've realized we're in danger. Like Black people, we're in danger. All we have done is exist, and we are liked by pretty much everybody but us. This should really be an eye-opener. It's definitely made me question and look at some different things differently and look at situations differently. It's got me thinking that everybody that's non-Black has some form of thread in their text where they're using the N-word. I'll put money on it. As much as we brought to this country and as much as we've done and contributed, we are always going to be known as the worst people on the planet, and we have literally done nothing.
I disagree with her sentiment, but when she says literally have done nothing, I'm going to disagree with that as well. We do know that there is a small percentage of Black folks out there that are cutting a fool. These teen takeovers, these young quote unquote YNs out here.
You're not allowed to talk about that, Wise. You're not allowed to talk about the kids because it's not my baby. Don't ever do nothing wrong. Ever, never, no way. And you can't call them anything other than what they are. You know how many things that the community be fighting for that are not to their benefit in any way, shape, or form? Always allowing your kids to do and say and go wherever they want to. You can't talk to my baby in school. You can't correct my baby when they out here in the world. You can't tell my baby when they out here in places and spaces they ain't got no places being. You can't say shit, it's racist. You can't say shit in school, it's racist. Your kids can't read. And somebody will say, but what about white people? I'm not white. Shout out to the white people that are here. It's not about them. It's about what we need to do and what we need to be focused on. I've seen more videos of people trying to get these kids to read, and they can't enunciate, they can't pronounce, and they don't understand what the fucking sentence means. How well do you think they're going to do in the world when they can't even do the basics and the minimum? I'm just talking about when we were younger, we had to write the first draft, write the thesis sentence, the supporting paragraphs, the conclusion, the first draft, the corrected draft, the final draft, all that. These people don't do that. These people don't do that. It's a No Child Left Behind, which is easier for you, which is unfortunately easier for them. But what do you get? You get a defective product at the end of the day. And until we're ready to fix that, and the thing is that there's so many people in the community that expect the same school system run by white people, while you can't stand and hate white people that don't teach your kids according to you, but you still depend on them to teach your kids. It's not like you can't teach them yourself. I'm not even talking about homeschooling. I'm talking about you can read them a book. You can teach them about this, that, and the third. You can require them to do some things, but that's just like left field thinking, I guess. We do play a role when it comes to our kids teaching and what they learn. It is a thing that can be done. Instead of worrying about Generation X parents that won't watch your funky ass kids for a week while you go fuck around at whatever crazy ass event that you want to go to, maybe you should take that time and stop thinking about you and think about your damn kid and do something for them so that they can be better people in the world. But child, what the hell do I know? Go on, child.
All kinds of habit, and no one, wants to step up and call a spade and say, hey man, these people don't represent us. We're not a monolith. And just because, they have the same amount of melanin, we're not the same. People need to step up and start shaming and start calling these folks out for their piss poor behavior. Simple as that.
It's a collective tiredness of the culture, the condition, the behavior of Black people currently today. We're seeing so much crime, so much instability. We're seeing the teen takeovers across the country. And mainly, we look at Black fatigue. This is something that Black people have to deal with at the end of the day. It affects every other community across the country, but crime and instability, first people that have to deal with it, Black people. Look at the predominantly Black cities. I come from Detroit, look at Chicago, Baltimore, name any city that has a majority Black population. It's aggressive to live there. And the Black people who are doing well, guess what they do? They have to leave the community. They have to walk away from the community because they cannot exist in this unstable and chaotic environment.
Tell me he's lying. Tell me he's lying.
So that's pretty much Black fatigue to me.
There's the teen takeovers, and then there's the beach activity that just goes crazy. But also, when
Child, what is this? Child, what is this? Is this what be happening in y'all's Walmarts? I can tell that this is the sewing portion of Walmart that she's standing on the counter. For what?
About Black fatigue. They talk about situations like this in public.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. But No one, like a lady that opened his thing up talking about something. Oh, we haven't done anything. There are plethoras of videos just like this of people just acting a plumb fool. I saw a video today of some black folks acting like they want to cut, in the water park line. Like, what is wrong with y'all? Wait like everybody else.
Listen to this. Austin Marriott that just snapped. You gotta listen to this. I'm with you, man. Listen.
Oh, there was no black jurors. You know why? Because you can't be unbiased, you dumb If you answer the question, I can't send a black man to jail because he's black, you're not getting on the jury. You're so unintelligent, you can't even fill out a form correctly. You don't even know who your daddy is because 78% of you don't have your father in the home anymore.
Ooh, child. I know he went there with that. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. I know the community did not like that.
Baby mamas running around with 8 kids so they can get EBT cards to feed you. You think I'm being racist? No, I'm being
Oh my God, I did not hear this. Did we hear this? I don't believe I heard this. Oh my God, I know Jazzy does not like this child.
Real, because they're not only black people. White people do the same. I'll call them out just as hard as I'll call you out. Anybody who doesn't work, who wants free government handouts, who wants to live in a socialistic society, move to Russia. And normally, I don't normally attack people like this, but
you can go to New York, or Seattle, I believe it is, because they got you. Both of those places got you, because we already know if it's free, then it's for me. Not me, but you already know.
We like free stuff. So we came out here to get all this free stuff. But then the car saying, you can't get the free stuff. What? Because the people want to take it. And how y'all going to take some stuff that ain't even yours? It's free.
So I got my 2 baskets and took the bus or whatever.
Wait a damn minute.
We get down here, we get some free stuff.
We're already in a recession. Times are hard. Why not just let us get the items and invest and be okay? We are black women. We care about our crown. Why not give back to the community and let us get the product? The tools, any other eviction.
I have been cooped up and caged up in this anger, and this is something I'm trying to work on. I need to develop it and funnel it into a more constructive way. But tonight is the one time I'm going to allow myself. It's okay. Tonight I'm going to allow myself to say what I really want to say. Because most of the time I don't say what I want to say because it's not correct. Just because you think something doesn't mean you believe it.
I can't blame you.
Doesn't make it right.
Y'all
Make it
done
wrong.
pissed on this man
Doesn't make it a fact.
They done called death threats. They done stabbed this child. And now they talking about he needs to be free. He's sick of black folk. He's sick of us. I'm sick of us. A lot of us is sick of us. I ain't mad at nothing this man said. He is a grieving father, and he got a bunch of black folk acting like the Karmelo's the victim when his son was a straight A student, MVP of his dang on team, good kid. And now all of a sudden Karmelo, woe is him, from a community that is basically saying his son's life don't matter. I am not mad at him at all. They literally are talking about free Karmelo. And y'all mad because he told the truth? What did he say that was a lie? I'm black, for real black. What did he say that was a lie?
Yeah, what did he say was a lie? People don't want to hear the truth because the truth hurts. The truth will cut you coming and going. It's a double-edged sword, man. And they don't like to hear it. I understand Mr. Metcalf's frustration. He's been under a gag order for a year. He's had to sit and listen to all types of lies and foolishness on the internet, people making up all kinds of things about him, about his family, about his children, about his child that has been, buried, who is 6 feet under in a casket. And he finally got an opportunity to let loose and unleash, and he did. And I understand exactly where he's coming from. I understand exactly where he's coming from because you and I know that you guys would do the same thing. There are so many people out there that with the gag order, no, so what? They would have been lashing out a long time ago. You know it, I know it, we all know it. The fact that this man actually had the discipline to say, you know what, for the sake of this case and I want to make sure that we get justice, but now, hey, I'm taking the gloves off, man. I mean, these folks, there are literally people.
He definitely has taken the gloves off, child, and ain't been quiet since. What is he on the internet, on somebody's show, on Newsmax show? I believe he was on some other dude's show. I can't be watching all this, but he ain't holding back.
Creating videos and footage of people urinating on his son's grave site. Now, some people have said that it's not real. It's AI or whatever.
One was real at minimum. One was real. The rest are AI.
But man, come on now. Even if it's not real, even if it is, an AI video, that is wrong, man. The people out there with the hashtag Free Karmelo t-shirts, y'all are wrong. Like, what is wrong with y'all, man? Seriously. So, hey, the Metcalfs, Jeff Metcalf, man, I am not mad at that brother at all.
All right. Shout out to Uncle Rick in the building. Thank you so much, boo. You so sweet. He says, "Happy Earth Day to my YouTube crush, Messy Michonne." Thank you, boo. You are my crush back. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. I know how you feel, hon. I know how you feel, but thank you again. Shout out to all of y'all. Please make sure you hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new. Let me fast forward a little bit. Shout out to ARP, but I want to see what videos that he has as well.
This TikTok shit pisses me off. A young lady on here just informed us, you know what I'm saying, that a similar case, you know what I'm saying, but the only thing different is there was 2 white boys chasing down a black guy, shot him in the back of his head and shit. The judge gave them time served 2 years in the pen. We gave them 4 years. They served 2 years and shit. He telling me they get out in 2 months. No, we see white people. I mean, look, fuck it. I don't know.
This is the problem, man. It's people like this, man. And there's so many people out there on the internet talking like this, man.
John, I'm not even sure what the hell he just said.
Won't y'all just leave, man? Seriously. The brother down in
somebody just said to leave, y'all. Who said to leave? I think it was oh my God, some pastor I think said for black people to leave the United States. Besides, Ricky Smiley said that because of the slavery that was coming in the chains, but he's still here, so I'm a little confused. But I forget that dude was that said it was beefing with somebody a few years ago, and I thought he did. Larry Reed. That's right, because he's friends with TLA. Shout out to TLA that put his post up about his channel. Anyway, Larry Reed is saying that it's time to leave the United States. I know enough of y'all is going to like Colombia and Thailand. Shout out to MTR, Asia, and y'all wherever the hell it is that y'all going. Peru. Just make sure you got a guest room. Just make sure you got a guest room because I'm coming too.
Said, hey man, we should just pack up and dip out to Africa. Won't y'all go, man? Seriously. If that's how you feel, you know, and you feel like you can't behave yourself in a civilized society, get up out of here, man. Seriously.
I am removing myself from the Karmelo Anthony's case. I am no longer involved with the family. And here's why. I was starting to feel like I was being used for my influence and my connections and resources. When I tell you we raised over $1 million one day, privately, quietly, they want to start.
I want to see it. I want to see it. Where's the accounting? Where's the proof? Where was this done at? They was just y'all was sending money to Charleston White.
I said no, I'm not doing the GoFundMe. They wanted to know after we pay for the pill, will the money go to them? No, the extra money don't go back to you. It goes back to the people who gave it. It don't go to nothing else. The money is for the pill. His daddy in the way. I don't like weak. I hate weak men. I'd rather stand with a strong daddy like that meth cap man than this black weak father trying to play victim. Now, nigga, your son's still living. Hug him, send him some books to read. I got the money, let's start to work on the pill. Anything else don't make sense, nigga, what's wrong with you? And I'm telling the nigga, say, homie, everybody believe you playing for the money, nigga. And I'm starting to believe you using me for it. You want to get the money, but then disassociate yourself from me? Nigga, I'm here for that boy.
Who's guilty, man? And this appeal, y'all just raised $1 million for an appeal for nothing. Because he ain't getting out of jail. No time soon.
So let me ask it this way. Did anybody see something with concrete confirmation that $1 million was raised in one day? Now, the day after the trial, I could see that actually happening. I honestly could see that happening. But where'd that money go? Where did they put it in? It's not a GoFundSend or whatever it's called, or GoFundMe. So where was it? Zelle into whose bank account? Where the money reside? Anybody know?
He gonna do every bit of that 17 and a half. And to be honest with you, he should do every bit of the 35. He should do every bit of that. The likelihood of him getting out on parole at 17 and a half years is probably slim to none at this point. They typically, don't allow folks out on that first time. But the reality of it is, man, dude, honestly, man, he needs to serve that whole 35 years. Seriously. They were being lenient on him by giving him just 35 years for what that young man did. He made a poor decision.
Who took it? Super Patriot. Who is they? Who took it? Let me fast forward that. Shout out to ARP.
Quit acting like Karmelo Anthony is the victim. He's not the victim. He's the perpetrator here.
I just took a couple clips from the beginning of his video because he makes some really good points, and I just wanted to talk about it. So here it is.
Drew Anthony, Kayla, you're cowards. You wouldn't even show up for your son's sentencing or victim statement impact. You abandoned your kid. You left him there. I guess he's no more used to you because you can't get any more GoFundMe money or GoSendGo money. You never once admitted or took accountability. You tried to play victim. The real victim is the one who died. I come to pray with you and show the world we can close the gap of this unbelievable racial divide. And what you do? You widen the gap even further.
Mm-hmm.
You see that right there? That's character. That's morals. That's values. That's a good Christian man right there. Offered to pray with you. Imagine that the family that lost their child wants to pray and give forgiveness to your son, your thug ass son killing their child, wanted to pray with you. But what did you do? No, you didn't want to do that. Because you know why? It's gonna be another race hustling summer, y'all.
That's what National Action Network guy is for. Dominique. I think that's his name. Dominique. From the gate, I said that this is not a good look. But I guess at the end of the day, the parents are the ones that hired him, so it's on them. But who couldn't see that he wasn't ish? Meaning Dominic, however you say his name.
BLM, you're following the race hustling playbook. Y'all dummies donated to that bullshit organization. None of that money went to anything to do with black people, black communities. You know where that money went to? It went to buying mansions for these people.
Despite what a jury found, his parents dispute their son ever wanted to kill Austin Metcalf.
My son didn't intend to hurt anyone.
And you know what the most disgusting part is? No apology to the family. You instantly just wanted to go to victim, seeing as how you don't have any morals or values.
Well, I did say that somebody should have at minimum apologized, but that's not something that's being taught for anybody in these last few years. No one apologizes. Everybody is right. My truth, y'all. How many times you heard that? It's my truth. It's my truth. No, what is the truth? Not what's your truth in your brain. What is the actual truth, right? Nope, that means that you're weak or you're simple-minded or you kissing up to white supremacy. There's none of that. How many times, Generation X, have you been made to go and apologize, even if you were wrong? Your granny then pulled you by the ear and said, oh, you're going to go apologize. Or you've been taken back to the store because you stole something. She said, you're going to give it back and then you're going to apologize. Things where you did wrong. Nobody ever apologizes. Nobody. That's not even a thing. Child, actually, y'all already know we've been talking about that, but it's usually about biatches.
Okay, baby, I'm sorry.
You know that I was going to not, but I never meant to do that way, but you never think of my feelings and you do them. You do know that I love you, but at the same time you dislike me, what good thing is you? At the same time I get angry and multiple and you don't care, but I do forgive you, but at the same time you don't. Okay, baby, I'm sorry. You gotta think of my feelings, but yeah, I'm sorry.
I mean, I'm a little offended by that. I mean, it might be a little bit true, not all the way true, but somewhat true, but I'm offended by that. But I'm gonna let it ride. Shout out to all of y'all that are here. Hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new.
Your son doesn't either. He didn't even take the stand. If he really was defending himself, don't you think you would get on the stand and really articulate what you were defending yourself from? There was no argument there. We're gonna have to deal with these dumbass protests, messing up our summer. Hashtag believe Karmelo. Get some class, get some values, get some character. Y'all need Jesus.
She's absolutely right. Y'all need Jesus. Seriously. The black community has fallen far away from the word of God.
Well, that's a given, but the word of God is not even in the damn schools anymore because everybody's offended. It's not even in the actual church. So if no one's going to teach you the word of God, you're not going to know it. And we already know that people are not doing that. So that's out of the realm of possibility, in my opinion. Child, people won't even teach their kids to freaking to read or learn or write cursive like y'all said. Just Google it. Everything is just Google it at this point, y'all. It's crazy. It's wild. Moving on though, child. Moving on. So we're gonna go over to the straight shooter, Stephen A. Smith, if you can believe it, child. He is over here. What does this title say? Stephen A. Smith speaks on Carmelo Anthony case. I do believe that this was just yesterday, so it's not even that old. So let's go ahead and hear what Stephen A. Smith has to say. I'm not going to listen to 37 minutes of this, but we'll get through what we can.
I don't know what to do. I got 5 boys. I don't know what. I ain't got nothing to tell them no more. You can't walk away no more.
Well, for starters, it's very simple. Don't bring a knife to a track meet. It's crazy because she's out here acting like her boys are in danger because a black man or child, when about to be 18, was found guilty for stabbing a white kid through the heart and killing him. So he was found guilty on murder for stabbing Austin Metcalf through the heart and killing him at a track meet with a knife he was not supposed to have at that track meet. He's acting like, what is she supposed to do about her boys? Ma'am, the biggest threat to your boys is not white people. It's other black boys, other black men. Around 9 out of 10 times a black man is murdered he's murdered at the hands of another Black person. Our criminal justice system is not out here targeting Black people. She's overreacting to a situation that she does not need to be reacting to in this way. It makes her look goofy, uneducated, ignorant, and stupid. I guess Black parents need to teach their children.
Well, Nick Taylor brings up a good point, which I was going to let it ride, but he said it, so let's discuss it real quick. He said, you have 5 boys. That's your husband's responsibility to guide them. Sir, now, you know better. You know better. This is a problem that the community needs to fix. And no one wants to hear it because there's too many misandrous feminists that swear they can do everything by themselves. And then they get up on this here TV, not the TV, this here YouTube or some news program to say that I can't do it. Oh my God, it's not my fault. I'm being evicted. Where does the money reside? And then all of a sudden it's you, Sassy Straight's fault, because yet again, it's always your fault. You ain't no good unless you are or deceased or you are a criminal. That's the only time that you matter. Now, this is supposed to be about Karmelo and everything that's going on since the verdict, but it seems to be moving a bit away from him. So I guess he's not useful anymore. But what the lady said about this whole summer being about Karmelo, this happens, as whoever pointed it out, typically in May or June. It'll be something that'll get the people riled up for the whole daggone summer going into midterms. And then we'll see how this is going to work out for them. We'll be watching.
About things like this, because you bring a knife to hang out with gang, her boys.
Welcome to this latest edition of Straight Shooter with yours truly. Obviously, you have to be living under a rock to not know what that video.
All right.
First degree murder and a fatal stabbing of 17-year-old.
All right. I gotta move this along.
The facts. Hearing what happened from witnesses, from what they said, Karmelo Anthony told them what happened himself, and what information and what evidence was deduced. We're looking at the fact that he was sentenced to 35 years. What I'm getting tired of is folks coming to the situation a bit late. All of this noise that's being made about the verdict. How come the noise wasn't made from open and tap to make sure proper representation was provided? So therefore, we couldn't be sitting back after a sentencing of 35 years in prison was handed down, looking to correct the error of the court's ways in your mind. Let me stay for the record and get this out the way right now. I am not happy that Karmelo Anthony got sentenced to 35 years. I'm not happy with the sentencing because I'm not happy with the makeup of the jury. 18 jurors, about 6 minorities, none of whom happen to be Black. I don't believe that's being...
He is admitting that there were minorities on the case. Oh, no. Is Stephen A. going to come back and change his mind on this? I believe this is only 1 day old.
And judged by a jury of your peers. Here's the reality, though. That's all I can say. That is all I can say. Karmelo Anthony murdered Austin Metcalf. There is no other way to slice it. How else do you explain, or can you explain? You at a track meet, appearing in a visitor's tent. Austin Metcalf and his brother, according to reports, come over to you asking you to leave because you're sitting under their tent. An argument ensues. Folks have said it spanned more than 5-6 minutes. Others said it went as long as 15. A 2-hand shove is believed to have happened.
It happened for 15 minutes. I thought it was 4 minutes or less.
By one witness. Another witness said it was a 1-hand shove. How does that justify Karmelo Anthony pulling out a knife and stabbing Austin Metcalf to death? How? Some would argue, what the hell were you doing at the track meet with a knife to begin with? Others would argue, it wasn't like you were in fear for your life. There were witnesses around. There were people around. At worst, they might have expected fisticuffs, if that.
Don't forget, you can have a knife in Texas. People don't want to hear this. It just has to be a certain blade or smaller. This is the size that matters. Pause.
A matter of fact, one witness was quoted as hearing Austin Metcalf said, I don't want to fight you. I don't want to fight you. But Karmelo Anthony saying, touch me, put your hands on me, and watch what happens. A witness, not a witness to the actual stabbing, but somebody who was in attendance in the immediate aftermath of the stabbing, reportedly, according to testimony, sworn testimony, on the stand said they went to Karmelo Anthony, who had jogged away from the area of the incident. They walked up to him and they said, what happened? He said he put his hands on me, as in Austin Metcalf. He put his hands on me, so I stabbed him. That's not justification for killing someone. I would give anything to be able to say something definitively in Karmelo Anthony's defense. If there was a shred of innocence to the incident itself, I would say so. I don't want to see another black young man going to jail. But I don't give a damn what your race. I don't give a damn about what your race, your ethnicity is. Just because you're white and young doesn't mean you deserve to be murdered. And just because you're black and young with challenges that black folks face every single day doesn't give you a license to murder someone.
Wait, this was the original mugshot, right? Now, why he do look tired, child? Because he's probably going through the process by now. I don't see no bruises or anything on the face, and I would think that if there were any type of cuts and bruises, they would have taken pictures of them. Like I said about, I think it's Big Tigger's wife who's putting all these damn pictures out there. I'm pretty sure they boxing. I know that was boxing. But I'm just saying, trying to lighten the mood a little bit. But I'm just saying, so you're telling me that if it was all that the scratches, the cuts, the bruises, none of that would have been taken pictures of and shown? Not one thing was shown. So the fact that people are saying that he got jumped by 6 people. So you're telling me that nothing would show up on him? Nothing? And yet people want to run with that narrative?
That's what happened. Now, I know there's some people out there that's going to look at this. And there's a lot of thoughts that's going to come to their mind. There's a lot of people that are in an uproar right now. Of course, when you talk about Frisco, Texas, you talk about stuff in the Dallas area. Anybody with an incident like this is going to want to hear from Representative Jasmine Crockett. Obviously, she had a lot to say about this, and there are others who responded to what she had to say. Take a listen.
This wasn't someone who said, hey, let me stab you 5, 6, 7 times. And so when you're looking at the punishment range, there's a reason in Texas that it goes from 5 to 99 or life.
So because you didn't do it 5 times, y'all, then that's the girl playing on this case. This is a lawyer, y'all. This is a lawyer speaking. Maybe there's no more competent lawyers anymore. Maybe that's why the defense's lawyer did what he did, wrapped it up within 24 actual hours.
5, 6, 7 times. And so when you're looking at the punishment range, there's a reason in Texas that it goes from 5 to 99 or life, because you are looking at how intentional, like how bad was this? 35 years for a kid who had decided to go under a tent that was...
Wait. Hold the fuck up. Now this is starting to make me... Hold on. Let me get this screenshot, y'all. Y'all know how I do. Hold on. Now that's a screenshot. She better stop, because I'll just be screenshotting it up at this heifer. So it's not a big deal, ma'am. The child is dead. I mean, I'm not trying to be rude, but the kid is dead. It's like she's saying it's not that bad. What you talking about? It's not that bad. He didn't do it 4 or 5 times. Ma'am, it took one. What are we talking about? Yeah, someone would use her as a lawyer? Someone would take this woman and give her money and say, defend me? What is going on right now? I can't do it.
But she had to say, take a listen.
This wasn't someone who said, hey, let me stab you 5, 6, 7 times. And so when you're looking at the punishment range, there's a reason in Texas that it goes from 5 to 99 or life, because you are looking at how intentional, like how bad was this?
How bad was this? Are y'all listening to this? Are you hearing this? How bad was this? Wow. Y'all put this woman into Congress? Wow. I am perplexed. I'm flummoxed. I am flummoxed right now. The kid is dead. Wow. Thank you, Nick. He says, Jazzy Crockpot, never let a tragedy go to waste. Yo, that truer words, in my opinion, have never been said. That is wild to even say that. How disrespectful. But this is okay, y'all. The problem is what Metcalf is saying, child. I forget if it's Austin or Jeff. I think it's Jeff. The problem is what Metcalf said. I can't imagine why he would say that, but people don't seem to have a problem with what she just said. What?
35 years for a kid who had decided to go under a tent that was not his team's tent as it was raining. The fact that there was little to no mercy seen or humanity seen when this black boy said that I was scared. Or the fact that honestly, anybody else who did something with such a small object, all I know is that it wasn't considered unlawful carrying of a weapon because the blade was not long enough.
No accountability was.
The blade was not long enough. Yeah, you heard, right? So y'all that are saying that you can't have it on school grounds, you're absolutely right. But I just wanted to make sure that people that didn't hear and know that people can, including a 17-year-old, have a knife. But you're right. You're not supposed to have it on school grounds. So just like people think that, or they're told that you can't use DRUGS if you have like a CDL. But some states say that you can use like Mary Jane. Well, yeah, you can according to the state, but it's still, if you have a CDL, you can't do it. So if you do it, you can't say, but the state says, no, your job says you cannot be driver under the influence. So it's those little caveat things that to normal people, I think would make sense and you could differentiate, but to some not. I can't even believe this is what she just said. I cannot even believe, and yet I can actually, and yet I can.
So ever. And y'all, you know, taking up for these police officers that's trained. Do you know how different it is to be at a track meet and a guy say, move out of my tent? And he say, I don't want to fight you. And you stabbed him, compared to a police officer who people are trying to beat and kill. The crazy thing is that they know that that's how it is. But the white kid is trying to reason with him and end up stabbing him. When he know doggone well, if them white boys came under his tent at his school, people be like, well, man, you got to get up out this tent or we're going to start throwing blows. And they act like they victims, knowing that they would have been fighting instead of talking in the first place.
To us, especially to teach our young black boys, because we have definitely seen this in our community where the slightest of things has touched off something.
Shout out Jamel and her blonde as blonde hair can be, while addressing it by saying that she don't have to address it, but she addressed it and she ain't going to change it.
That can't be reversed in decision making and discernment and wisdom. And those are not easy conversations to have in a world that sees them the way that they do, but we have to have them to save them.
The first woman was Representative Jasmine Crockett out of Texas. The second was Officer Tatum, a popular podcaster who was just on this show recently debating someone on the liberal side. He's a conservative. And the last person was Jamel Hill, who's been in this business for many years, doing outstanding work as a reporter, first for ESPN and obviously now for The Athletic.
Outstanding, sir.
Everybody has a point. This is not about both sides. No, this is not what that's about. I'm just speaking about what they said there. See, you're not going to hear me say that Karmelo Anthony didn't deserve to be convicted. You had no business having a knife at the incident. You damn sure had no business pulling it out. And you damn sure had no business stabbing somebody in the heart, the chest, right ventricle, or what they said. You had no business doing that. Over an argument? For what? One incident ruined the rest of your life. You were crying after the verdict. You were crying approaching and re-entering the courtroom for sentencing. Because obviously, if you had to do it all over again, it's the last thing you would do. Why?
Because, I know y'all tired of hearing me say it. You need to think before you act, and these are the lessons and the things that people need to be teaching their kids. If he was on the trajectory of being very successful, which let me not say if, he was on the trajectory of being a very successful young man and probably going to, be popular, go to college, do all that. And that got to get away because of one moment that he couldn't control himself. Y'all can, not y'all, you know what I'm saying. Y'all can act like that's not a thing. It's absolutely a thing. And I learned it from my stepfather, and he has his whole ass father in his life, which is where I came back to the lessons that we get taught as children, that you cannot put on the school, that you cannot put on the colleges, that you have to put on you as a parent and your family, especially, and yes, I'm saying especially when you have black kids, specifically black sons. Say I'm lying. That stuff is just going out the window. And then when I bring up Bill Cosby, people want to poo-poo on him. All right, fine. Then keep listening to these low testosterone men, or rappers, or sexy reds, or a bunch of misandrists that don't have your best interest at heart. Hell, as far as I'm concerned, these bitches don't have our best interest at heart. I stand on that 10 toes down. Y'all want to continue to listen to them while they line their pockets, and y'all still out here in the same damn situations that you've been in, while you're out here arguing with people that you don't need to be arguing with, when you need to be paying attention to you, taking care of your kids, taking care of your family, taking care of your life, because ain't nobody else gonna do it but you. But you would rather listen to someone like her, who ain't got no man, probably ain't gonna have no man, ain't been married, ain't got no kids, and then you're gonna end up like Viv or Lisa Ray or the rest of them crows that's sitting up here carrying on like it's somebody else's fault that they can't get what they allegedly want because they won't change anything because, you know, nobody settles around here. Nobody settles around here. Rachel, thank you, hun. She said, I am glad Jasmine Crockett lost her election. She lost it very good, too. She lost it very good, too. Shout out to Rachel again. She said, Jamel and Stephen A need to shut up, stick to sports, shaking my head. Well, they're not, especially Stephen A now. And then Jamel, hell no. Hell no. She another misandrist. She ain't going nowhere. Over there talking about, oh, the hardest time for a battered woman to leave is at the end. Well, child, then tell them don't be in a situation that long. The first time that person touches you, then you leave then. Why is that message not ever put out here? You don't hear that message as much as you hear the hardest time to leave an abusive relationship is in the end. You need to have the message be, don't stay your ass in no abusive relationships. If he hits you once, he will hit you again. Get your ass on up out of there then. Don't go have 10 kids with him and then say, I can't get out. I bet you got 10 kids. Child, don't listen to me. Thank you for another 2 boo. She said, preach, messy, preach. Thank you, hon. I see you. I appreciate you. Shout out to all of y'all that are here. Please hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new.
So nobody is trying to absolve him from the heinous act that he committed. But listening to Representative Jasmine Crockett, I would ask an Officer Tatum or anybody else to pay attention to the specificity of what she said in this regard. She's talking about the 35-year sentencing. She's not touching on his innocence or guilt. And the reason why you touch on the 35-year sentencing, remember, she's licensed to practice law in Texas and Arkansas and federally, so she'd have a clue about what she's talking about. The reason why she brought this up is because of the case of Casey Allison. May not have heard that name before, but this person, Casey Allison, who obviously is not black, I should say obviously, but is not black, was sentenced to 10 years in prison after a 2022 stabbing at Belton High School that killed 18-year-old Jose Ramirez during a bathroom fight. This is also in Texas. But Allison was not convicted of murder. A jury instead found him guilty of criminally negligent homicide, a much lower level offense under Texas law. So what you're having is a situation where the law in Texas allows you to impose a sentencing of anywhere from, 5 years to 40 years or whatever it is. Whereas when it's criminally negligent homicide, that's a far lesser charge. So what they're saying is it's a similar incident. And if the incidents were similar, why is one sentenced for 10 years and the other's 35? See, that's the discussion we should be having. At least one of them.
I agree. In order to go to your representatives, in order to change whatever law you need to, that sounds like a wide gap, right? At the same time, that's not what these people want to do. And Jazzy is in Congress right now. Was she introducing to get any of these things changed? And then someone will say, oh, well, they won't put it through. Well, that doesn't mean that she didn't try. I guess you got to get down there and start talking to people before you get the fuck on up out of there. Nope. But let's make sure you take advantage of this moment.
The discussion we should be having is, are we supposed to be judged by a jury of our peers? I see a black person on that jury. They said minorities. What kind of minorities? Asians? Native Americans? Hispanics? What? I didn't see any black people on that jury. That's about it. Outside of that, Karmelo Anthony has no hat to hang on. Has no hat to hang on. You can slice it any way you want to. Can't do it. Can't do it. But what Jasmine Crockett was bringing up is a point worth considering. Why was it this criminally negligent homicide as opposed to first-degree murder?
And I think someone should be asking his attorney. I think someone should be asking his attorney. And that's where I said from the gate, y'all, 24 whole ass actual hours to present a self-defense claim. You call 6 witnesses and then you rest. That is wild AF. Child, I want money to sue his ass for negligence, honestly. Or did they already know? Because now they want to say somebody told me to do this. Somebody told me to do that. Somebody told me to do this. Somebody told me to do that. Which sounds like non-accountability. And I'm talking about the Anthonys. So your son gets to suffer now for the rest of his life. He gets to go nowhere. He gets to be in prison now. Like,
days to come, I'm certainly going to have somebody on the air with me to explain the difference and why one was such a case and one was not. One was first-degree murder and the other was negligent homicide. Why? When both involved stabbing incidents. Why? That's about it. Those are the two arguments. Those are the two arguments. I'm going to repeat it again. Criminally negligent homicide compared to first-degree murder. One involving a 10-year sentence, the other involving a 35-year sentence. Obviously, Karmelo Anthony getting the stiffer of the two. And the other is the makeup of the jury. That's it. Anything else that we're talking about, anything else we're arguing about, anything else we're going back and forth about, you gotta pay attention. You gotta stop it. Because it gets into a more deeply rooted problem. So many times we look at certain situations and we ask ourselves, why do we continue to go through this? Because the system is against us. This ain't the argument. This ain't the time to make that argument. You are at a track meet. And at that track meet, you have an abundance of people around. Your life wasn't in danger. You might have tried to make the argument about self-defense. It wasn't holding water with the jury, who came back with a verdict in 3 hours. 3 hours. That's all it took for them to come back with a verdict. And the same jury was the one that handed down sentencing. So the issue is with the jury, and the issue is with the stiffness of the penalty. My point is, I'm watching everybody out there now, and everybody wants to make noise now. Where was the noise before?
Exactly.
Activists, other lawyers.
Exactly.
Supporters, politicians, etc. Where the hell was everybody earlier?
Stephen A., this is what it is. I hear where he's going with it. I'm not going to listen to this whole thing. It's the same thing that I say all the time. It's always reactive and not proactive. It is always a reactive and never proactive beforehand. Now, it's up to the parents in this case on who they chose and what they did. And the first worst choice, which is what TLA said as well, was choosing the National Action Network guy. He was not good for the situation. He made things worse when he tossed Metcalf out, and they allowed it because they could have said, "Yeah, no, we'll go ahead and we'll talk to him," or they could have did it off camera. They didn't have to do it on camera, if you know what I mean. They could have met separately and just kept it between them or something like that. So we know that that is actually true. That Jeff came to say, you know, whatever at the time because he had a broke arm or something, if y'all recall. But they allowed that criminal, allegedly, I'm going to say allegedly, even though we know, but I'm going to say allegedly, to come out there and do your bidding for you. And then listening to people say, get a white lawyer, get a black lawyer, and black lawyer telling you get a white lawyer, get a white lawyer, get a black lawyer. Like get someone that's competent. Get someone who, when you sit down and you talk to them, they said that I think I can win this case because, and then they give you that, you know, that pen to paper plan that I be talking about. This is what I think, or the outline that I was talking about. This is the objective. This is the thesis sentence. These are the supporting. You could have had them do all that. So that shit does come into effect later on in life, y'all. Shout out to Generation X. Nope. Somebody said, because somebody said, and that's enough right there. And that's where we are. Now, with Jazzy being here running off at the mouth right now, like I said, before she leaves, why don't you put something into place to make it more fair? How about that? Now, I know there's people that live in Texas and they said that it's really racist there where they live at. And, you know, I just have to go ahead and believe what they said is true. I also have to remember, y'all have to remember that this is where they chose to live. This is where they chose to move on up to. And if you live in Texas and they live in Texas, I'm assuming that you know the places that you're moving into. I'm going to just leave it at that. Because I don't know, because I don't live there. Texas ain't no place for me. I go visit and carry my black ass home. That's it. That's all. Nick, thank you, boo. He said Stephen A. is wrong. Jazzy isn't a criminal attorney. She's a civil rights attorney. Is she? All attorneys aren't the same. Marriage, business, land. Interesting. I didn't even hear that part. Shout out to you for the information. I just knew she was a lawyer. I didn't know what her specialty was. So I wouldn't use her for nothing, child, because she sound crazy. Thank you, Rachel. Appreciate you. She said Karmelo admitted to the deletion to the cops after incident. He ruined his own defense. Yeah, he actually did. He actually did. That is a great point that people seem to forget. But we're moving on from Stephen A. We see where he's at. Let me go on over to BCP, because of course, you know, he got something. It says pro-black mob turns against Carmelo Anthony parents after realizing they've been tricked. Now, they didn't say anything about Carmelo. They're saying about the parents. Okay, they're talking about the parents on this one. So let's hear what they got to say. Y'all hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new.
Go ahead and set your phone down and treat this as a podcast episode. I said this in the previous video that Carmelo Anthony's parents set him up for failure. They saw an opportunity to exploit his situation and make money off of it, and they did, right? Had a conversation with someone close to me, and, you know, they were like, people are trying to push this bias that Black people can come from money. Didn't know that they were upper middle class. I knew the Frisco area was pretty affluent, but I didn't get that deep into it because what they make is none of my business. But it's the optics. It's all about the optics. Even if they planned on moving, even if they already had the money to move, it's the timing of it all. You raised over $500,000, and instead of putting that money into a high power criminal defense attorney, you decided that you wanted to buy a house and do all sorts of bullshit with it, because even though an attorney can't make the client do anything, that high-powered attorney would have been like, based off of the evidence that's presented, based off of the countless witnesses, it was over 20 witnesses, that would have been like, hey man, take a plea deal. And then everybody wants to forget that everybody is offered some type of plea deal when you get arraigned. I know this from watching the University of Law and Order, all 25 seasons of it. And so the fact that his parents didn't even have his best interest in mind and used the situation to try to create an OJ/George Floyd/Trayvon Martin moment where they wanted to exploit him for clout and popularity, they set that boy up for failure, because he could have easily pled guilty, probably gotten voluntary manslaughter, and maybe would have gotten 10 to 15 years in prison instead of the full 35. The fact that, and I'm just going to take it with a grain of salt, allegedly the parents left and wasn't even with him when he got sentenced, that tells you everything that you need to know about it. But given the fact that, you know, a good majority of the Black collective want to die on his hill and try to say it's racism and that we need to support one another, it's like, bro, your hubris, your ego, and your pride. A lot of y'all do not have the emotional discipline to look at information with logic and clarity. And this is why y'all are in the situation that you're in now.
Wait. So not to mention the fact, shout out to that girl. She just said they're making it all about race. I thought this was about Karmelo. You don't want to make it all about race, about this, about that. I thought this was supposed to be about Karmelo. So shouldn't the conversations be, what can we do to help? Which attorney do we need to get? Where is the GoFundMe or whatever it is? What's their plan? How are we going to choose the attorney? Is there an opportunity? Who's good at getting appeals won? That should be like in the research in the Texas area, or who can practice in Texas. None of that. None of that. It's just that this was racist. This was racist. Okay, so what does that change and what does that help? What does that change and what does that help? I'm just saying, it's the same shit. Wash, rinse, repeat. Nothing ever changes. Blah, 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 blah. And again, like she just said, or somebody else just said, these politicians get right up on it. This their George Floyd moment, even OJ moment, Trayvon Martin moment, to get your numbers up, get your money up, allegedly. And it's more important just to talk racist instead of talking solutions and what the plan is to go forward. Blame white people, talk about white people, and take your eye off of the prize and take your eyes off of Karmelo, because allegedly he is the person that these people are supposed to be concerned with. But yet again, it doesn't seem that way, because maybe they're just going to take it off into the direction that they want to take it into until, God forbid, y'all, until God forbid something happens to Karmelo while he's in there, and then they can say, oh my God, but see. I don't want nothing to happen to that young man, okay? He in jail, that's a damn enough. I don't want nothing to happen to him. But God forbid if something should happen to them, this is what these people gonna do. Oh my God, we try to tell y'all it's racism, it's racist, and we knew it, and oh my God, and this is what white people do, and this is the problem, but that's what it's going to be. It's not going to be, oh my God, what can we do to make sure that Karmelo gets transitioned out of here and goes there, or he's put into solitary confinement, or is he okay, and who can get in there, and none of that. None of that. Allegedly. I could be wrong. I don't think I am, but we shall see. I hope we don't see. Let me rephrase. I hope we don't see. I hope we don't see. But I feel like that's what they should be concentrating on at minimum, is getting a group of lawyers together, pen to paper, writing it down, who has the best percentage of getting an appeal overturned or open case or however it works, and who specializes in, and what could be the reasons. Get those written down. Research. This is your kid. You've already effed it up, allegedly, the first time. Get rid of National Action Network, dude, which I don't know if they got rid of him yet. And stop listening to all these people that's sitting up here just trying to get shit from you, because, listen, I'm not going to say nothing. Let me go ahead and let this video play. But let me acknowledge our Rachel with another 10. Thank you, honey. I appreciate you. You're so generous. And you're really a new name around here. So welcome. Shout out to all the new subscribers. Shout out to all of y'all. We see you. We appreciate you. Hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new. Get into this chat. This is the best chat on YouTube. If you don't laugh, leer, and up in here, then you will laugh and leer no place else. Shout out to the chat. She said parents should have gotten 2 OJ lawyers, Dershowitz, Shapiro, or Margaragos. There you go. To represent Karmelo. GoFundMe money was supposed to go for the best defense. Shaking my head. Parents spent money, then thought about lawyers. Shaking my head. Allegedly, let me just toss in an allegedly. Let's be mindful of our allegedlys, because I feel I heard in one sentence, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, that they said when they spoke that they did not buy a house. However, Charleston White did say that they had to move. So I don't know. But almost $700,000, and that was the case that they got. Something don't sound right. Shout out to Nick at Night.
Oh, we got to talk about a fascinating turn of events in the pro-blackly black world. These individuals are still boohooing and crying about the Karmelo Anthony trial verdict. Karmelo being found guilty of murdering Austin Metcalf in cold blood, and now the pro-blackly blacks. They're trying to figure out how did this happen, okay? Because a lot of these individuals believe the lies that came from random activists on the internet, black activists, pedophiles on the internet, like little pedophiles on the internet, telling people that they saw a video claiming that Karmelo was jumped when that didn't happen, okay? But because these people believe these lies, they're now searching for an answer as to how is it that Karmelo was found guilty, right? And they're saying that, hey, you know, Karmelo, it seemed like he had a weak defense, right? Because again, in their minds, Karmelo clearly was committing self-defense. They're like, yeah, well, the reason why Karmelo was found guilty is because the defense was weak. And who hired the defense? Oh, the parents hired the defense. So now they're starting to realize that the parents are actually grifted, because they're asking questions like, wait, hold on, this Mike Howard guy, he wasn't that good, right? And again, Karmelo didn't have a real self-defense case, right? The reason why Mike Howard didn't do a good job is because Karmelo had nothing to work with, right? But again, in their pea brains, that doesn't make sense, right? Because they're convinced that
We used to have lawyers around here. We got any lawyers in the house? Like seriously, like real lawyers, Bueller. Vernon, thank you, boo. He said it's time to call on Judge Joe Brown or not. Judge Brown is over there on Dana's channel. He be over there like he a co-host. Shout out to Joe Brown. I think that's Joe Brown, right? He over here YouTubing like everybody else. Everybody's up on this damn YouTube, y'all. Everybody.
That Karmelo is innocent, right? So their logic suggests that no, the parents hired a weak lawyer on purpose, right? And that they blew the money that was donated to them via the GoFundMe to enrich themselves, okay? And that's why they're now receiving backlash. And some of their biggest supporters, like, for example, Charleston White, he has now turned on the family. He's apologizing to Jeff Metcalf for all the disrespectful things that he said about Jeff Metcalf and his son. And let's be honest, I'm not really forgiving Charleston White for what he said. I don't take Charleston White serious as a person, but I do find it hilarious how he's now openly, publicly turning on the family, like others, over the fact that people are now asking questions about the family and whether or not they sold their son out for their own personal financial gain. Take a look.
Karmelo parents and the sorry-ass defense team is why he lost in court today. If you don't already know, Karmelo Anthony has been found guilty, and it's his parents and the defense team's fault. Now, he had enough money raised to hire one of the best lawyers in the country, but his parents mishandled the funds. They wanted to vlog and floss and, you know, spend the money on other things, and they told you that they spent all of his money, and y'all donated even more. What gets me about stuff like this is, now you pass over smaller families in the Black community that ask for GoFundMe, you know, donations to, they're facing homelessness, they need a car, something like that. Y'all pass those up and tell them to pray about it. But Karmelo's parents spent his money. You donated more. I don't understand how y'all think, but it's not.
First of all, there's a gargoyle alert, and we have watched this girl before, but she's bringing up some good points. I already said I got nothing else to give, child. I got nothing else to give. But nobody in the community wants to talk about the everyday real issues that need to be addressed, that need to be worked through, that need to be resolved, that need to be coming up with some type of solutions. Nope. It's only these quote unquote famous things that people now want to jump on and give their opinion and what do you think and blah, blah, blah. But those smaller things that we cover, they ain't got nothing to do with none of that. We don't care. We don't care about them homeless people. We don't care about that mama that's in the hotel with 3 kids and she ain't got no place to go. Or the mama who left the kids over here while she's sleeping in the car. Nope. We care about Karmelo.
But Karmelo's parents spent his money. You donated more. I don't understand how y'all think, but it's not for me to understand whether you like it or not. He was found guilty and that's the end of it. Austin's father, I think what really pushed it over is Austin's father not taking a completely right-wing agenda. He wasn't, you know, pushing all the racist pro-white things. He just said he's not racist. He doesn't want any of the pro-white people, you know, trying to make it into a race issue, and he forgave him. So this white man who had a black man take his child away from him still held no malice in his heart. And I think that's what helped their case the most, my personal opinion. But his parents, like I said, had the ability to hire a lawyer and get a desirable verdict. But you make the mistake that most people make when they get money in their hand and they're not used to having none.
Free Karmelo Anthony, but I ain't gonna lie, folks' parents let them down for. Folks' parents let them down for. Tell me why they doing all this shit for money, gang. This is what I be saying about certain black people, bro. Shit be so fucking embarrassing and sad, gang. Because motherfuckers will really leave you in the dust for money, gang. For money, gang. Your own family, your own people, gang. They'll leave you in the dust because of money. But it's still free Karmelo Anthony for. Because he still ain't deserved to do that many years in jail. But y'all know what's really going on, gang. I know what the fuck is going on. You feel me? That's just how this is. I damn near fuck the parents, I ain't gonna lie. I support Karmelo Anthony. I'm gonna still want him out, but folks' parents as long as here.
I want to say this to the Metcalf parents. If I have said anything that hurt you, I ask for your forgiveness. Forgive me. I was in my feelings, I was in my emotions, and I was in my own ideology at that moment. And with that being said, I want to talk to the father, not the mother. When I look at this situation, the absence of the mother in front of the camera lets me know that's a grieving mother. And I want to tell you, Mr. Metcalf, I have no quarrels with you, sir. I initially agreed with you, as I do still agree with you. I did my best. I did my best. I heard you say it, and I made a call without hearing you say it. This is not about race. You have every right to be angry. You have every right to hate. And I'm telling black people, nobody have a right to be mad at you. You don't have a right to be mad at those parents. If we take us out of it and put those two kids back over because we lost two children, we're arguing. We brought race into it. Black people introduced it. White people accepted it. From start to now, I've been trying to reject it. Why? It takes the focus off both children. I'm off the Karmelo Anthony case. I ain't putting no goddamn money toward that boy. His daddy too goddamn weak for me. I don't like a weak. Dad ain't willing to die, kill, or go to jail. That bill wants some bills paid. Karmelo, my heart go out to you if you ever see this video one day. I'd rather stand with the Jeff Metcalf than I would with Karmelo's daddy. He's weak, dark side, and conservative. I ain't standing with no weak ass black man. I'm off the case. I'm sending the money back. Don't get them weak ass Benjamin Crump here. I'm out.
It has really been bothering me, wondering why Charleston White.
Not go get Benjamin Crump. Benjamin Crump is working on the latest police brutality thing. That's what he's working on. That is his shtick. That's his lane. His lane is the oppressor and black people. He ain't coming for this, in my opinion. Thank you, Rachel. She says Attorney Mark Garagos was on TMZ giving opinion on the case. Shout out to Mark Garagos. Y'all, we remember that. The O.J. Simpson trial that encapsulated us for months, y'all. Months. But I have to check that maybe for tomorrow or so, because, child, this stuff looks like it ain't ending no time soon.
Walked away from Karmelo Anthony's family when he was really intent and adamant about helping him. So I went digging, and I found why. Y'all, now I'm starting to feel bad for this little boy, because if your parents don't care for you in your greatest time that you need them the most, how the fuck y'all think this kid was raised? So what, you're in a two-parent home? Don't mean you're in a happy two-parent home. Don't mean both parents care about you. And they are really showing their true intentions right now when he is at his absolute lowest. Listen to Charleston White tell y'all why he walked away and why some of the top lawyers in this country will not touch this case. And it ain't got nothing to do with blackness. It ain't got nothing to do with his race. It's because his parents, they're messy and they don't give a fuck about that kid.
I feel like I was being used for my influence and my connections and resources. When I tell you we raised over $1 million one day, privately, quietly, they wanted to start another GoFundMe. I said, no, I'm not doing the GoFundMe. They wanted to know after we pay for the pill, will the money go to them? No, the extra money don't go back to you. It goes back to the people who gave it. It don't go to nothing else. The money is for the pill. So, going forward, I am no longer walking with, nor associated, or helping Karmelo Anthony. His daddy in the way. I don't like weak. I hate weak men.
I was gonna say he could technically give the money to Karmelo because he is an adult now. So I don't know. I guess his parents cut for him, but you could conceivably give him the money and someone else works on it for him outside of the parents as an option. I'm just saying.
I'd rather stand with a strong daddy like that Metcalf man than his black weak father trying to play victim. Now your son's still living, hug him, send him some books to read. I got the money, let's start to work on the pill. Anything else don't make sense, nigga, fucking wrong with you. So, myself, along with criminal defense mitigation specialist, Shannon Ross, along with attorney Mitch Nolte, we are removing ourselves. Mitch was never on the case, but Mitch said he's not taking the case. Mitch said he's not taking the case. Why? Too many hands involved. They're trying to bring too many black lawyers involved. We don't need blackness. We need righteousness. We need righteousness. We don't need blackness. So the dad rubbed me the wrong way. When I got an email from Mitch Nolte, one of the top attorneys, I didn't get the email. The email was forwarded to me. But if Mitch ain't in it, Mitch won't get in it, Mitch won't take it. There's something stinky about this. And I'm telling you, everybody believes you playing for the money. And I'm starting to believe you using me for it. You want to get the money, but then disassociate yourself from me?
With this information, I look at this whole everything totally different. I feel like, in my personal opinion, the parents told him not to take the deal. That he could have did 7 years. He did 3.5 and would have been home. Why? Because the moment he signed that deal, any money in any of them fundraisers, well, in the Give, Send, Go, because the GoFundMe was indeed canceled in return, but the Give, Send, Go was not. And see, they knew that the Black community and all the people who were supporting him emotionally wasn't going to do the research and distinguish that was two separate fundraisers. That one did get canceled, but the other one didn't. They depended on wordplay and played wordplay games and tricked everybody. I believe they told him not to take that plea deal, because if he took that plea deal, then in turn, that fundraiser would have been cut off at that moment. And any funds that weren't used would have been returned to whoever sent it to him. This is nothing but a money grab to them. I don't know who is advising this family, but whoever's advising this family do not have this little boy best interest in heart.
Yeah, so it's amazing how
National Action Network dude, Dominique Wilkins, or whatever his name is, child.
it took all of this for some of these pro-blackity blacks like Charleston White to recognize what everybody with common sense recognized from the beginning of all of this, which is that the family was grifting off of their son, right? They're selling out their son for money, okay? And look, here's the thing, right? I think it's deeper than what a lot of people are talking about. I think that Karmelo was a problem child. Now all of a sudden they're coming out and saying that he takes medications for seizures. When I watch videos of Karmelo, I've never heard him talk or say anything. He looks weird, right? He looks like he got some issues, right? There was video news coverage of
now Austin got child. Karmelo got issues. I did hear about the epilepsy, I think, or something like that, just a few days ago. But now BCP, you trying to say that stop this about this young man.
Students talking about how Karmelo was known for fights and stuff, right? Yeah, and he's stabbing teenagers in the chest.
What?
Yeah, I think that Karmelo was a problem, right? I personally believe that he was a big issue for the parents, and the parents saw this as an opportunity to lock away their son, who they apparently didn't want anymore, and also on top of that, raise a whole bunch of money because their actions throughout this whole thing suggested they weren't really fighting for his son. I mean, they hired a defense attorney that the woke minister, Dominique Alexander, admitted out loud that, hey, he wasn't necessarily the most expensive guy because they had the option to hire a black attorney, but he was charging them $500,000. And apparently that was too much, even though they raised over $500,000. So we know for a fact that all the money did not go towards the defense. So they hired a guy who, again, was not a bad lawyer, but he wasn't the best lawyer in the world. He didn't really have a case to work with. And I'm pretty sure that he told them that, hey, this case don't really look that good, right? Karmelo apparently was such a bad kid. They didn't want him cross-examined so much. He couldn't defend himself or explain why it was self-defense. It was so bad that they were like, nah, we're not going to.
Did y'all hear? Come on now. Did y'all hear that he was a bad kid, though? Seriously, I haven't heard that. Did any of y'all hear that Karmelo Anthony was a bad kid? All I heard was he saved the kid, he was good to his brothers and sisters, the captain of the football team, the captain of the track team, worked 2 jobs, grade point average high, on his way to college, blah, 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 blah. Was any of the negativity that Greg is talking about right here something that was like a part, like the prosecution would have brought that out? I'm talking about in the court case specifically, not people on the internet. Okay, that's what I'm saying. So I don't know about this. We got to be fair now. Come on. Mudslinger, stop it. But like now we want to change the narrative, what he looked like and all that. Come on now. Stop it. I don't want to hear all that. Yeah, if it's not in the court case, then it's like, please stop this. All right. So that's just his personal opinion there. So that opinion there, nobody said anything about this because, yes, it would have came out on prosecution side real quick. You think they wouldn't have put that in there? Not that they needed any more help, but they definitely would have added that in there. Come on now.
Allow him to take the stand. It's too risky. That's how bad of a kid.
Actually, he should have taken the stand. I'm pretty sure it probably, well, I guess he should. I don't know, y'all. I think he should have took the stand. If you're going to say self-defense, then you should get in there and explain it, right? I would think. You got something to say, you know how it went, what actually happened. You could refute what whoever said that allegedly was a lie. I don't know. Damn, Nick, them boobs is boobing, child.
Karmelo was. Let's be honest. And the parents knew that. So they decided to sell him out for hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Allegedly.
Because had they took the plea deal, had they actually saved their son, because they had plenty of opportunities to save him, had they actually admitted to guilt from the beginning, then their son probably would have got 10, 15, but they wouldn't have all that money, right? And they wouldn't have the opportunity to continue to fundraise, which is what they're trying to do right now. And apparently Charleston White, who again, I don't know if his word is true, right? I mean, he's neither here nor there with me, right? So he's just talking. Regardless, I do find it to be fascinating that he is speaking out on this. He's basically saying that the dad is asking if the appeal money that people are thinking about donating, is it going to go to them, right? He's trying to get in on the appeal money, on the fundraising. So it really should tell you what a lot of this is about, if what Charleston White says is true. And I want to talk about it. So without further ado, let's listen in on the latest update from the parents and their visit with Karmelo.
Yeah, because Drew went on to Neek's show. So I guess that's what he's about to bring up. Clayton Bigsby says, thank you, hon. He says, do you ever wonder what's wrong with the Blakes? Y'all, you sound like Hood Servative, but shout out to Hood Servative. He does a great job. He's so funny. I can only be concerned with me and mine. And that's what I'm responsible for. That's all I'm saying. But thank you for the donation. I appreciate you. Come on, child. What's going on over here?
I need to share with everyone else. He was able to visit Karmelo Anthony today. He is at a place called the Wallace Pack Unit. He went to visit him. The visit lasted for about 2 hours. He said that Karmelo Anthony was in good spirits. And I asked him, I wanted to know if Karmelo Anthony saw everybody who was wearing purple and how he felt about it. And he said that he loved seeing everyone wearing purple. I also asked him, I said, well, I know you can't go into a lot of details, but there is a big thing about whether or not you guys had Mike Howard as a public defender or whether or not he was retained. He said that Mike Howard was retained. Toby Shook, the co-counsel, was also retained, meaning that they were not pro bono and that they did not come on like free of charge. He also said that Toby Shook, the same person that they retained, is the same lawyer that is representing Yellow Beezy. And then he was basically like, he's representing Yellow Beezy, like he didn't come on board for us for free type of thing. Anything else going forward, if there's any more updates that I can get from him, I will share those with you guys. But I wanted to clear those things up and be able to let you guys know. Yes, it was the father. I was put in contact with him through the Black Panther Party. They facilitated the call. I talked to him. He was going to come on and say, hello to you guys, but he was like very tired. So I said, listen, I don't want to push you to do anything extra. I understand you guys have had a rough week. And we talked a little bit more about other things. I'm not going to reveal everything to our conversation, but my heart goes out to them. I can't imagine, just like I told him, I can't imagine anything that, like, being in their position, like, everything that they're going through. Somebody said, how can we donate? He's said that he was figuring all of that stuff out as well. So he'll be updating as far as that goes as well. But that's all I can share right now. Charleston White, you guys are talking about, is ridiculous. That whole thing with Charleston, like, trying to like get people to go against him, I believe that that's ridiculous. Those are my words. I believe that that's ridiculous. The receipts that Charleston White is posting up, it doesn't even come from the father. It's like just random text messages disparaging the family. We don't even know who the text messages that Charleston White is posting, who they came from. They're not from the family. They're not from the father. And it's saddening. It's very sad to see like other Black people join in on the bashing of a family without like the facts. They did not get money and then not pay an attorney. So
yeah, but see, I guess the real question is not if they paid an attorney. I think everybody knows that they paid the attorney. I think the question that's being asked is that they used the money in a way that was beneficial towards Karmelo and with Carmelo's interest in mind more than their own interest, right? Their own personal financial gain. That's the question.
Oh, I was about to say, so that's the actual question, the counting of the funds. And honestly, at the end of the day, if people donated, that is not out of the realm of possibilities of things to ask. Well, can we get the accounting because blah, 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 blah. But I know that on the colored community side, they'll say, I don't need to do anything. That's a racist. And it's like, so you want people to continue to give you money and you're doing what you say you are doing? Provide the accounting. That's the same thing that Duke is doing down there in Baltimore, trying to keep the compliance basically person from coming and reviewing his shit because allegedly, in my opinion, no allegedly, but allegedly that nigga down there doing shit he ain't got no business doing with all that daggone Safe Streets money. Allegedly, but not allegedly, but allegedly. Y'all know who I'm talking about. If you don't know, you better ask somebody. Shout out to Dennis Sperling in the building, a real lawyer around here. Shout out to Dennis Sperling. Y'all better go ahead and acknowledge. He said, hey, Messy, hey to you. Thank you for everything that you do. Shout out to you and you versus a ghetto boy. And the fact that I wonder if those people are still supporting Willie D. since the support is allegedly waning. It's kind of waning as far as we can tell. In my opinion. Plenty of supporters, of course, plenty of people that are saying it's wrong. He shouldn't have got 35 years, and that's fine. Everybody got their opinion. But since we have a real lawyer here, okay, a real lawyer, the question is, I know y'all. I know the chat said it was acceptable. If you're still here, Dennis, can the defense ask for a plea deal? And if they did give him a plea deal of 7 years and he didn't take it, who the hell is advising these people? It certainly wasn't you. That's crazy work. Because one of y'all said 7 years. What in the world? 638, you asking who was listening to Willie D? Go over in that comment section, child. He did Dennis did an interview with him. We went over that, and they sitting up there calling Dennis all kinds of names. I'm like, y'all sitting up here listening to a ghetto boy, and then one of y'all gave me some tea on he got arrested way back for some fraud or something at some point. Not Dennis, the ghetto boy. And y'all gonna listen to him now. Everybody can change. Don't let me make you think that I don't think that people can change. But y'all, I'm not listening to no ghetto boy that cannot enunciate. I'm not going to be able to do it. I'm just not going to be able to do it. But that's just me, child. That's just me.
Because you can hire a guy, but if the guy that you're hiring is not that great, and you're Dominique Alexander, despite the fact that they had raised more money than that, right? They had raised over $600,000, I believe. And that's just what we know publicly. That doesn't count the private donations they were probably getting, right? So they had the money to hire a top guy. They just chose not to do it. And then on top of that, again, the guy that they got, come time for trial, his case is so weak, people scratch their heads as to why did you even bring this to trial? If the self-defense case was this bad, right? Why didn't you take the plea deal?
Okay. A real lawyer says, yes, the defendant can ask for a plea deal and the prosecutor can offer a plea deal. So the answer again is yes. So I wonder if they really did do that and did offer him 7 years or even 15, knowing that you really only have to do half, and they didn't take it. On the strength of who? Who was advising these people? These are good questions. Now that we got some confirmed answers from a real lawyer, who in the hell? Who is advising these people? They listening to National Action Network, guy? Y'all, come on. This is crazy. Wayne Lundy in the building. He said, shout out to Uncle D, the Blizzard King. Love you, Auntie. Much love to Uncle D. Absolutely. Shout out to Dennis Sperling. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Shout out to all of y'all. Please make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you are new. Now, remember, I'm just a lawyer on YouTube. Dennis Sperling is a lawyer in real life. If y'all need a lawyer, you better go to him. Don't come to me. I can only help you on YouTube. I don't even know if I can do that. Come on, BCP.
It's a good question. So again, the people who believe that Karmelo is innocent, they're attacking the lawyers, but at the same time, it's not gonna work. And Charleston White is exposing the game. And again, I don't know if he's correct. I don't know if this is actually true or not. This is what he's saying. He's saying, look, the daddy's already trying to figure out how they can make money off of it.
Oh yeah, and the other thing is that they're listening to National Action Network guy and listening to Charleston White. What? I thought we should be making good decisions for Karmelo. I thought this was about Karmelo. It's getting away from him, in my opinion. It's moving away from him to see what people can do, the best that they can get, who can get up on it, who can get some notoriety, who can speak for. What about Karmelo? If you really do want more people to continue to donate, now this thing with Charleston White saying that he raised $1 million and he giving the money back. We ain't seen no money. He could be making up anything. I don't know if it's true or not. Anton maybe can get to the bottom of that. But what happened to this being about Karmelo? Go ahead and put out an accounting of so people can know how the money was spent, the first $600,000 that puts this to rest. And then you can say, please donate here. We're trying to do an appeal. He doesn't have any money. We want to get him out. We know we have all these supporters. Don't forget, this is what happened kind of with Sean Gaithwaite for Julio Fulio. And everybody was all up in for him as soon as they heard the word sweat equity. Then they was down for whatever. Then when he finally went to jail and was like, you know what? Y'all keep sending me money. Now all of a sudden, everybody went ghost. Crickets, I tell you. I'm telling you, the community, the color community is something else. It's something else.
Because they already know this appeal is not going to be successful. It's not going to be. They just want to fundraise pay the bare minimum for legal representation. And then when they don't get what they want, oh, it's the white man's fault. We need more money to keep fighting for Karmelo, right? And they just keep the grift going. But, you know, eventually the grift will implode because people are going to figure out that this is, again, what it is. It's a grift. That the parents basically sacrificed their son. They sold out their son for money. It's shameful. It really is. But again, I think that Karmelo was a problem child. And I think that they're like, oh, well, kind of kill two birds with one stone here, right? We can get rich and we can get rid of our son. I personally really do believe that because their behavior suggests that that's kind of where we're at this point, right? Why didn't you take the plea deal? Why won't you tell us exactly what happened? There's a lot of questions about this family and their behavior.
All right, I guess it's over. I thought Nick had something else to say, but I guess not. So shout out to BCP and his commentary. We got to take it with a grain of salt, child. Some of these people is wilding out around here. Anyway, what have we learned today, boys and girls? This is what we learned. Everybody is crazy. Everybody is out for self. You sassy straights, you blacks, it's all Jermaine's fault. No one gives a damn about ya until you are dead or you are a criminal. Again, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. You're just not worth it. And whatever they can do to get up something up off of ya, they're going to do it. But when it comes time to say, let's get married, let's have a family, let's, work together, it's a no. You got to have it all together. Do what I say when I say how I say. Nothing else. No ifs, ands, or buts. But as soon as you turn into a criminal, they out here in these streets fighting for ya, okay? To come up off of something somehow, some way. Other than that, everything is racist and you ain't shit. Say I'm lying. But child, if I don't tell you, who gonna tell you? I look at this shit, I try to look at some of this stuff from a different perspective. Because I'm just like, is it even about Karmelo anymore? Who's steering this ship? He'd probably be better off on his own. He need to go ahead and get some of his own representation at this point. He's 18 years old. He can pick whoever he wants to. Somebody needs to come through and offer to be his voice of reason, because honestly, I don't think allegedly that his parents are doing the best for him. Then they got these hashtag believe Karmelo. Believe what? We don't know anything. We don't know anything. You know what Karmelo should do? He should, well, I guess he can't, but he should consult the lawyer and then do a jailhouse interview. You think that wouldn't blow the freak up for him? I don't know if it's allowed. You don't have to talk about the appeal portion of it, but he could just get out some thoughts on his own with a good counsel with him. And I'm sure he could raise some money for that. I don't know if that's a great idea, but in order for him to take over for himself, because I feel like that might be the best bet for him. But he's still a child at the end of the day. Frontal lobe is not fully developed, okay? I know we hate hearing that, but that's that. Well, yes, love forever. We know what it is. What we also know is that he has the right to an appeal. So like it, love it, hate it. It is what it is. Shout out to the justice system. You can't like it when you want to and dislike it when you don't want to. It is what it is. So we'll see what happens. Unfortunately, child, I thought we was about to be done with this, but it looks like we are not. And if the community doesn't get it together and stop just saying that everything is racism and come up with some damn solutions, of which these politicians are not doing anything to come up with any viable solutions. All they're doing is, we have to have a conversation about race. Child, y'all talk about race every freaking day. How many more conversations need to be had? But as soon as someone starts to talk about reparations and they turn around and tell y'all, we need to do more studies, then y'all mad. It's the same damn difference. How much conversation needs to be made? I'm sorry, how many conversations need to be had? Nope, that's just crazy talk. What the hell do I know? I don't know nothing, y'all. Let me go ahead and go find something to eat. Mr. Messi done left me. It's a little later than what I thought it was, so I'm not sure if we'll come back tonight. But if not, it will be today is Sunday, tomorrow is Monday. It'll be Tuesday because tomorrow is my birthday and we're gonna be in Cayman Islands, and that's where I'm gonna be. I probably will go live, but probably just be briefly from the beach or something like that. All right. So shout out to all of y'all that made it here today. If you're on replay, made it to the end, I see you. I appreciate you. Please make sure you hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new. Please make sure you go ahead and hype this daggone video. Y'all, make sure you comment. Shout out to the mods. I see you. I appreciate you. Shout out to Trend Stream sponsor and Rachel. I'm pretty sure that she's a sponsor as well. I appreciate you. Shout out to Dennis Sperlin for coming by. I appreciate you. All are welcome as long as we can have a discussion and we can be respectful. We can all have differing opinions. We good with that over here. If you come over here and you don't come into this chat and you don't leer or you don't laugh, this is not the place for you. Shout out to the chat every single day. I'll see you all in the next one.